Down! Green team! Green team! Set! Hey!
Good morning, football fans, and welcome to 3 and Out, the official draft edition. Did you miss us? My goodness, it's been, 6 weeks since we saw you all. Beautiful football fans out there, you gotta love it, right? The intensity builds. The Underwear Olympics has concluded. Because let's just be real, that's what the Combine is. But hey, guess what? We're here, we're ready to roll. We got ourselves one hell of a show today because the draft is coming up this Thursday. Let's hope that it stays like it did last year and stays more consistent with football and doesn't have a band and a Ferris wheel and all these things, to make the draft a spectacle. But last year was pretty good. Let's hope it stays that way. But more than anything, let's hope that our teams grab who we'd like. Now, we all know, right? We all know that the majority of all of our mock drafts probably won't be the most correct. But it's all good because it sure as hell is fun jumping on here and talking about who we think each player is going to go to in that first round. So, who's going where? Who do you think? Well, why not jump on in and talk to us, y'all? You guys know the hashtag. Y'all know the apps. Jump on in today. We got ourselves a fun one, man. My buddy Mike Pat, the official Mel Kiper of IE Sports Radio. I don't care if he even likes it or not. I call him that, so here's what it is. Deal with it. The dude knows his stuff when it comes to drafts. Ladies and gentlemen, we got ourselves a Travis Karnick of Chi-Town because he's ready to roll with his Bears, even if his Bears aren't ready to roll. And, of course, Mr. Teran Rodriguez joining me from the City of Angels. I mean, kind of, he's next to it. But anyway, we're talking all this wonderful football on a Saturday morning. It's about that time for the draft, y'all. Your boy Larry B is here to talk about the misery of the Raiders and, of course, what's to come this year, who's going where again. Look, when it comes down to it, dreams are about to be made. And more than anything, guys, that is special among everything else. With that said, guys, here we go. About that time for the official 3 and Out pre-NFL draft show right here on IE Sports Radio. Your direct feed for all that sports.
IE Sports Radio fans, this show is brought to you by Planet Jerky Premium Brisket Beef Jerky. Planet Jerky is the official jerky of the 2022 California League champion Lake Elsinore Storm, single A affiliate of the San Diego Padres. This all brisket jerky has gluten-free options, contains no MSG, no sodium nitrate, is low in sugar, and high in protein. Go to their website at planetjerky.net and follow them on Instagram at Planet Jerky. Planet Jerky, the jerky that's on a whole other planet.
Rise and shine. Rise and shine. It's 4 a.m. The stars are still out. The sun is beneath the horizon, but it's time to punch in and go to work. The comfort of your warm-ups turns into the grinding out of your reps as the clinking and the clanking of the plates create a symphony of euphoria. There's no other feeling like it. Earn it, burn it, and take what's yours. IE Sports Radio has proudly partnered with Vital Apparel, a brand that not only fits great, but also promotes and donates to mental health research. Use our code IESR to get 15% off their comfortable and inspiring gym wear and help them on their amazing journey to support mental health. Go hard, take part in your iron therapy, and be strong. Because when your mental health is as strong as you are, there's no telling how far you'll go.
Hey there, IE Sports Radio fans. Be sure to check out our sponsor, Seal the Deal Wax Seals by Cecilia B. You just finished your very own wedding or baby shower invitations and you're looking for that extra special touch? Maybe you just wrote a letter to a relative or a friend and you want to add to their smile when they receive it. Then seal the deal with Cecilia's handmade sealing wax stamps for your invitations, letters, and gifts. You bring the deal, we'll bring the seal. You can find them on Instagram at sealthedeal_wax stamps and on Facebook, Seal the Deal Wax Seals.
For the last 10 years, IE Sports Radio has been bringing you amazing content ranging from interviewing legendary athletes, coaches, and other authorized media personnel to building tailor-made shows dedicated to all major sports cities around the country. Make sure to follow us at IE Sports Radio on X, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and YouTube to keep up with the latest in sports and with all of our shows. Also, make sure to check out our daily updated website at iesportsradio.com. At iesportsradio.com, you can see our daily show schedule and check out all of our show pages with personal bios to learn a little bit more about each of our awesome hosts. In addition to our show pages, you can catch the IE Sports Radio blog, Hall of Fame, Fans of the Month page, and our merchandise shop including t-shirts, tank tops, caps, long sleeves, hoodies, and more. For now over a decade here at IE Sports Radio, we've continued to be by the fans, for the fans, and we thank you all for your support and for making IE Sports Radio your direct feed for all that is sports.
Don't you love it? You gotta, I'm telling you, man, you gotta enjoy. You gotta enjoy life when you can. All right, I'm over here just nodding my head, getting all excited. Hey, that right there is like Snoop in the old days for me, right there. I mean, I can just think back to riding with my pops in the '62 and the Deuce, bumping something with the Kenwoods in the back. You know, I'm just saying the Punch Fosgate speakers. That track takes me back. It takes me back. Anyway, y'all. With that said, some players are gonna be saying that pretty soon, saying, I remember in 2025, man, I was sitting on the couch, whatever. Man, I remember getting drafted, man. This takes me back. But I'm just saying. So, Thursday, special, very special. And you know why? A lot of dreams will be made, and I always try to make a big deal of that because before anything else, guys, these young men put in a lot of work. I know because, well, I was nearly one of them. So, you guys know, lots of work. What does that equal? Success. For 32 young men Dreams will be made on Thursday. And well, guess what? We're going to have fun picking where we think those 32 guys are going to go. So with that said, to help me, let's rock and roll, baby. Make sure you check us out down here. You heard the commercial. So go do it. Okay, go shoot. I'm just kidding. But with that said, before we do that, man, let's go ahead and jump on into it. We have ourselves the host of Chi-Town Weekly, of course, is Mr. Adam Carnick. Well, shall I say the host of Chi-Town Weekly and the host of the Neutral Zone Fun Show, man. Trust me, want to hear that one. And of course, we have the host of Set Point and the co-host of 3 and Out, and of course, the host of the SoCal Spring Sports Show. And as I always say, our very own Mel Kiper Jr., whether he likes it or not, that's his name. And the host of Let's Whine About DMV Sports, delivering you all the sports in the DMV. And he is one of the co-hosts of the Bull. I love this show, the Bullpen Bulletin, on Tuesday nights. Ladies and gentlemen, welcoming Mr. Adam Carnick, Mr. Teran Rodriguez, and Mr. Mike Pat. What is going on, gentlemen?
Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Larry.
Hey. Good morning, Larry B.
Guys? Good morning, man. Good morning, man. It's been a fun build up to this show, and we got some draft picks to make, man. You guys decided for this. Thank you guys again for being here. You guys are amazing. I appreciate you guys so much for doing this and putting up with all the chaos and everything whenever when those things happen. So we appreciate you. Thanks again for being here today and putting in some time to talk some draft with me.
Oh, this is Christmas morning almost. This is twist my arm, Larry. Okay, I'll talk draft.
One of the best days of the year, and I always tell you, Larry B, you can call me the Mel Kiper of IE Sports Radio, but you got to say with better hair.
I like that. I'll take that, with better hair. Okay, I'm gonna write that down. Okay, so let's do it, you guys. I'm ready to roll. Here we go, man. First things first, we just gotta, jump on in to tomorrow not tomorrow, to Thursday. What are you guys gonna be doing? You guys gonna be doing anything special? You guys gonna be hanging out? You guys gonna be with the family on the couch? What you guys gonna be doing?
You were talking on draft night?
Yeah, draft night.
Oh, go for it, Mike.
Hopefully the kids will be asleep and I'll just have peace and quiet to watch the draft. That's my cross my fingers right there.
Hey, that's always fun, right? Well, hey, we're gonna do it like this, man. Appreciate you guys again. We'll get the tags up in a little bit too, because I know we gotta roll here. Because of course, hey, we gotta be respectful of time. So with that said, guys, before we jump on it, well, we will put all our stuff up and where you can follow us and everything in a little bit. But let's get it going, guys. The draft, of course, starting this Thursday. Without further ado, let's jump on into our mock drafts and see, who may be the most correct. So starting things off, man, we, of course, have a team that, lost Teran there. We'll get him back momentarily. But we have a team here to start things off with that, they're a little Raiderish. They really don't know their front from their back, and that's in the nicest way. But these guys had a lot of questions to answer, and honestly, I don't think any pick is bad for them. But who will it be? We'll find out. The Tennessee Titans are on the clock. Let's start this thing, man. Adam Carnick, would you mind doing us the favor of getting us going?
Oh, I'm honored. Thank you. I think for the Titans, it's got to be Cam Ward. There's been so little discussion about this. It just feels like there's no story here. It's Cam Ward, quarterback, Miami. They got to do something. Will Levis is not it.
Good old Will Levis. Yeah, there's no way. I don't see it. It's a rough go for these guys. Okay, moving forward, it's all good. Mike Fed, who you got with the Titans?
And I'm going to try to do my best Mel Kiper impersonation of either slightly nodding or shaking my head every time somebody says a pick. So that's going to be the recurring theme there. No, I'm just kidding. Anyways, yes, I agree with Adam. This pick, it's got to be Cam Ward. The Titans, new head coach, new GM, new head coach a year ago. But we have to remember, they did not pick Will Levis. This current team did not pick Will Levis. So, they got to go find their guy. And when you have the number 1 overall pick, you got to go get him. Cam Ward, simple decision. It's what everybody's saying. We'll roll with it.
And you know what? There's nothing wrong with that because it's true. Nothing's bad. These guys can pick anybody right now, and it's like, God help us. That's pretty much what this is. So let's just call it what it is. I mean, big ups to everybody. By the way, in the chat, you guys are amazing. I appreciate you so very much. Let's do this, y'all. But thank you guys very much for tuning on in. Yeah, no shocker with this pick. Exactly. There's no way. There is seriously no freaking way that they should pass up on having somebody behind center. So yeah, Cam Ward, I believe, should be the guy. And we'll just move forward from there. But all right, guys. So next up, we have the Cleveland Browns. Whoops, I disrespected them. Sorry, but everybody else does too, so it's okay. So let me get that color going. But with that said, the Cleveland Browns. All right, so Browns are on the clock. A team that needs pretty much everyone but Myles Garrett. And I think even Myles Garrett knows that. But whatever. Cleveland Browns, Adam Karnick, who you got?
I honestly went back and forth on this a lot. There's two guys that I think it's got to be either it's got to be either Carter or Hunter. I went with Travis Hunter. The thinking they have needs at both wide receiver and at corner, and they can use him at both. I don't know how long Hunter can play both sides of the ball in the NFL, but even if it's for just half, it's not the on field. I think it's the prep week, the Monday through Saturday. Think of all the time you have to spend in the classroom to be able to really get the game plan down. I think that's the part that's going to be hard professionally. I don't think the on-field part is going to be a problem at all for him. But even if it's half a season, you figure out which side you prefer him on, and then it's, okay, Travis, this is your side of the ball. Go excel at it. We'll figure out the other one later.
You know what? I'll take it. I will take it. What other choice would they have at this point? Would they seriously pass him up? Hold my beer, right? I mean, they would, but I'm just saying that's the Browns for you. You know what I mean? Like, would you like $5 or 15 million? I'll go with the 5. That's the Browns. So
somehow
Mike,
this is a trap.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think, Mike?
So I agree with Adam. Look, at some point, yes, the Browns are going to have to figure out how to move on from this Deshaun Watson debacle, which even their front office has begun to admit this offseason was a colossal mistake. But I don't think right here, right now, with Cam Ward off the board, is Shedeur Sanders going to be that guy? I don't think he is going to be the guy to make Cleveland forget about Deshaun Watson. So I agree with Adam 100%. I think it comes down to Carter or to Abdul Carter out of Penn State or Hunter. I think both would be phenomenal picks, but I think the fact that Hunter can impact both sides of the ball, and the fact that if you look at this team, look at this roster, wide receiver, of the three needs that you can fill with these two players, corner, edge, and wide receiver to me is the biggest need of those three. And Hunter not only fills that, but he gives you a corner, and a corner that you don't have to use right away because they actually have some decent corner depth in Cleveland, but some of those guys are going to be free agents next year. So he can be a contingency plan for this year and for the future at corner while impacting now at receiver.
Very, very, very good analysis there. That's a great pickup there. Why not? The guy's a no-brainer. Teran, I know you couldn't. I know it looks like the woes over there happen. It's all good. So Teran, obviously, first and second, who you taking?
Uh-oh. Who do I have in my number one pick?
Yeah, so we got number 1 for the Titans, and of course number 2 for the Browns.
All right, well, I have Cam Ward as number 1, and then I got Abdul Carter at number 2.
Oh, interesting. Why is that?
So Cam Ward, obviously, I think the Will Levis experiment has kind of backfired. And then for the second pick, I think Abdul Carter might be the best athlete in terms of defense for the Browns. And if they have to, I mean, they could go Travis Hunter, but they still have like Jerry Jeudy and other receivers. So I think going Abdul Carter kind of makes sense. Like give the Browns defense a lot more help than it needs.
There you go. Well, we are again. This is, and by the way, everybody listening, we're doing note because we know some trades will probably happen soon. Who knows? But of course, we're just sticking with the usual. We tried that one year. That was chaos. But the trades and everything, that was a lot of fun. But all right, guys, let's go ahead and shift on over to our next pick. Now, this next team. Oh no, these guys. Nah. It's painful. It's painful for these fans to even have to be fans right now, but it is what it is. I'll tell you, this team right here needs a lot of everything. A lot like the Titans, I feel like they can't have a bad pick. The New York Giants on the clock. Gentlemen, this is going to be they have so many great athletes here. They can't be wrong, but for some reason, I feel like they just still might be. Who knows? Adam, who you got?
So a lot of times when I look through the first round, I want to identify what is a team's biggest need, because as much as they talk about, oh, we want to take the best guy available, no, they take what they need and then say, oh, look, it was the best guy available, best of both worlds. In the case of the Giants, their front office and their head coach, what they need most is job security. So that means you go with the safest prospect on the board. So that's Abdul Carter, the pass rusher out of Penn State. I don't think there is a safer guy in this class. He's been compared to Micah Parsons, same college, same number, same position, all those things. Do the Giants need a pass rusher? No, but you can never have too much of it. So to me, it's Abdul Carter.
Yeah, this is huge. I mean, come on now. This has to be. It has to be. If he's still there, it has to be. So good morning again, Mr. Glenn Ritter. Good morning, Mr. Marcus Lewis. Great. Yeah, Giants gonna mess up. They clean up. Yeah. I mean, they just Mike Pat, who you got for us, man?
So it would be simple to say, I think the Giants are really hoping for Travis Hunter here. I think that would be their absolute dream scenario. But obviously, Adam's mock, my mock, he's gone now. So what do they do in that scenario? Quarterback, there's going to be rumblings. Shadur Sanders is sitting there. Do they make that move? Probably not. And here's why. Because like Adam said, these guys need job security. This team has been bad for several years. How they didn't fire Brian Daboll already is beyond me. How they haven't gotten rid of their GM, both Daboll and Jim Schoen have been there since 2022. And when was the last time this team was good? Like Eli Manning, 2012? I don't even know. So, how they still have their job, I don't know. But it's clear that they are on the hot seat. They need to win now, and they need to find a guy who will impact them the most now. And while I agree that Abdul Carter is very safe, they have Brian Burns, they have Kayvon Thibodeau, they just brought in Chauncey Golston. I don't know if he makes them markedly better right now. Not that he's a bad prospect, but does he improve them? But one guy I think does make them markedly better right away, and this is my curveball here in the top 5, is Mason Graham. Defensive tackle out of Michigan. This guy is an interior penetrator, which they do not have a good, reliable, consistent guy next to Dexter Lawrence in the middle. They're relying on 32-year-old Raheem Nunez-Roches, 31-year-old Jeremiah Ledbetter, another guy who's 31. They're relying on all of these guys, like veteran journeymen. If you want a guy who will upgrade this defensive line the most right now, to me, that is Mason Graham, who is a 3-down penetrator. Reminds me a little bit of Gerald McCoy, which I realize is a lofty comparison, but kind of one of those guys, not the biggest defensive tackle in the world, but country strong, quick, can play all 3 downs. This is the guy to me. If the Giants are looking to upgrade their team the most with one pick in this scenario, to me, it's Mason Graham.
Right. If he's there, this is it. This is the deal. So totally agree with that. Teran, who you got, man? Okay, well, Teran's having himself a morning there, but thank you guys.
I will say, with Teran did share his mock draft with me. He does have Travis Hunter going here.
That's perfect. Thank you. That way we can keep it going. But yes, hey, look, again, you have a couple dudes at the top. Don't mess us up. You know who's who. You know who you need to go with. Don't be stupid. Again, the Giants might, but great picks, gentlemen. For my number 3, this is, I don't even know if it's a surprise or not. But again, since I had Ward going to the Titans, obviously Travis Hunter going to the Browns. Giants, I will have them going obviously with Abdul Carter. Because it's just one of those deals where hey, we you got to take the best available, right? So there you go. Those are my top 3. Let's go ahead and switch on gears. Any last comments on those Giants?
They need help. Help.
Yeah, it's
yep, 100%.
It's
just
really
pick somebody good. Just do that. As long as you pick somebody good.
Anybody, please. So New England Patriots are on the clock. Adam, give it to us.
Patriots, they just got themselves what appears to be a franchise quarterback. You've got to support him. They need help on the offensive line. A lot of people have been making
I'm trying to get everything settled in, but my third pick is Travis Hunter just because Giants need wide receiver help. And
well, thank you for that.
I think, and he's the best available player on the board. So, in my opinion, I think that Travis falls to the Giants' lap, and hopefully they don't mess this up. If they don't select Travis Hunter or Abdul Carter with either pick, then I don't know what to say.
All righty. So go ahead and continue, Adam.
I know a lot has been made about this guy's arms being maybe a little too short, but I think that Will Campbell for the Patriots, historically, if the guy can do the job, they don't care as much about the measurables up there in New England. I think Will Campbell is still going to be a high pick in this class. I have him going to the Patriots.
Yeah, agreed. This is another player that, yes, no-brainer. Good pick there. Well, even Glenn, Will Campbell to the Patriots. Yes. Does Mike Pat agree? Let's see.
I agree. I thought this was going to be a little bit of a hot take pick until I saw everybody agreeing with it in their mocks and in the chat. So, but yeah, no, Adam hit the nail on the head. The Patriots have historically not cared about the measurables, especially when it comes to offensive linemen. If you can play offensive line, they're going to pick you and they're going to put you in. I mean, shoot, a few years ago, they tried to go with Isaiah Wynn at left tackle, who was 6'2.5". Like they have tried to go with all different kinds of, people. And and it's also another point Adam made that was great. It's about Drake May. It's about your young franchise quarterback who you just took last year. Now you have to go and help that guy, and you cannot leave a gaping hole at left tackle with your franchise quarterback. You got to fill that. And Campbell played at the highest level against the best competition, and he did well in LSU.
Very, very well. So, yeah, dude is going to definitely be a big factor for this. Why not go with him, right? I mean, I got him going to there as well. I mean, you think you got a guy at quarterback. I'm sorry. You think. Because I'm not sold by far. But you got a coach now. Yay! So, you got a guy that can at least throw the ball kind of accurate. We'll see. You got a defense that actually somehow, some way is good with a bunch of no names, which is good. So we'll see. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah, a tackle does make a lot of sense because maybe their QB will do a lot better if he's not on the ground. So I'm just saying that's usually the first sign of a quarterback having a decent career. So with that said, I got to go Will Campbell as well. But overall, you just got to look at the big picture for these guys right now. We haven't seen this. This is crazy, guys. We haven't seen the Patriots struggle like this in, my gosh, since the 90s? So it's crazy, but what will happen, we will see. I don't know. But I got to go Will Campbell for sure, because to me, that's the no-brainer pick there. So next up, guys, we're going to roll on over to the Jacksonville Jaguars on the clock. Here we go, guys. Adam, talk to us.
Jaguar, this is where we are going to have a little bit of difference of opinion here. I have Mason Graham going to the Jaguars. There's a lot has been made of the Jaguars liking to go on defensive defensive line, and Graham is such a beast inside. And if you can, it doesn't matter what. It doesn't matter how things change in the NFL. One thing is always constant. If you can get pressure straight up the middle, that's going to disrupt things. And the Jaguars defense was horrible a season ago. Graham helps with both pass and run defense. I like that pick for the Jaguars.
It's huge. That's a great one. Michael, you got?
Yeah, I mean, the Jaguars defense was really bad a year ago, and they've got to be able to find some help. I have them getting a little bit of a gift because here's a guy who could easily go top 2, top 3. Heck, some people might even make the argument that he should go number 1. But just in this scenario, he drops a little bit to 5. I have Abdul Carter here. I know they have Josh Hines Allen and they have Trayvon Walker. However, Trayvon Walker entering the last year of his rookie deal. They have not extended his 5th-year option yet, and they have not committed to him being the long-term guy. Plus, they don't have a good third pass rusher to go behind that duo. The Jaguars have always kind of run a little bit more of a creative difference. I am 100% confident that they will find a way to get all 3 of these dudes on the field at the same time, no matter what formation it might be. Shoot, it might just be those 3 on the defensive line in some place for all we know. But I think, if Carter's here, it's a gift. And it would be, I think they'd run up to the podium to add him to that pass rush.
Yeah, agreed. This dude is look, if he's there again, yes, these are no-brainer picks again. No-brainer picks. There's no way you can mess this up. I mean, some teams probably can, but you can't mess these up at all. So, yeah, and with my Jags pick, this is where I'm going to get a little weird. Get a little weird,
Larry.
Oh, please.
I'm going to get weird.
Get weird.
I'm gonna have fun. Getting weird is fun, so I'm gonna get weird. All right. So, yeah. Ooh, look at that, Tyler Warren. Okay, so my weirdness is gonna have, the Jaguars are weird. We know that they're an awkward team that does weird, awkward things. I'm gonna go with Matthew Golden. Yeah. It's a Jaguar thing to do. It's like they know they have their Thor godlike quarterback. Okay, I'm just saying that because he low-key
I am envious of those locks.
They know they got him. They know that that's their man. I question a lot of things that Khan does, like a lot of things, and this could be one of them too. Screw it. He's going to say, I want a receiver. I'm going to get a really good receiver to my quarterback to throw to. Yeah, you have D-line needs. You have a defense that can't really stop anyone, but let's get a receiver. Yeah, I just have this feeling, guys. I don't know why they're going to go offense. So screw it. I put a receiver in there because he's an incredibly good receiver. But I just feel like they're going to, I don't know. He's like the new age Al Davis. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look, there's a good player. Let's pick him. I mean, I just Marcus Lustre, I can't stop a nosebleed. Yeah, these dudes, that defense is horrible. But yeah, I just have a feeling they're going to go there. So I'm going to go be weird and say wide receiver. I'm going to go with Matthew Golden because he's so. Teran, who you got?
All right, so now that I'm back on track and out of a building, I had Travis Hunter at number 3, Mason Graham at number 4 because Patriots defense need to improve. I actually have a receiver too. I have Tateroa McMillan going to the Jags at number 5. I think that the Jaguars need help. If they don't pick Tateroa McMillan, they'll go the logical route and they'll go Tyler Warren. But let's get crazy. Let's have Tateroa at number 5. So hopefully that came through, and hopefully that rocky start is officially done.
The Jaguars said the same thing, and it's still not done. So, it happens. So,
30 years of a rocky start.
Yeah, and the crazy part is their first year was actually really good.
Rocky start for me, that is. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good. All right, everybody. Time to go to the team I don't want to talk about, but here we go. All right. So, the Las Vegas Raiders are a team that I just kind of want to go away. They bother me. So, at number 6, the Las Vegas Raiders. Ew. Adam Karnick, who you got?
You've got a new head coach in Pete Carroll, and you've got a quarterback that for now, at least, you're committed to. Pete Carroll, he's an old-fashioned, defense and running. I'll take Ashton Genty to the Raiders. And you got Chip Kelly. He loves to play with running backs. Ashton Genty, he put it out there this week that it's tackle football, and you can't tackle me. Take the guy they can't tackle. Ashton Genty to the Raiders.
It is a good pick. Look, if they pick him, I'm not mad. I'm not. The guy was phenomenal at Boise. I'm not mad. Mike, who you got?
I've got Ashton Genty as well, and I'm going to break the news right now in our IE Sports Radio Mock Draft Challenge. This is the one pick in the entire first round that so far through 5 submissions, everybody has agreed on that this pick should be Ashton Genty. He's an excellent running back talent. He runs with power. He runs with speed. The Raiders need it. Geno Smith definitely needs that help in the backfield. But I will say this. Do not necessarily be surprised if this pick is not Shedeur Sanders if he is on the board. He's got the personality for Vegas. And if you look at that contract the Raiders just gave Geno Smith, it is very non-committal after next year. That could be the shocker right there at 6 if Sanders is on the board, which I believe for all of us he still is.
Yes, and honestly, if they pick him, screw it. I mean, we got a old quarterback with freakish money. Raider things, guys. We're doing Raider things right now. So yeah, agreed. Teran, want to add to our misery?
Yeah, I got the Raiders picking Ashton Genty, but Mike does make a good point. Don't be surprised if it's Shedeur Sanders. Also, don't be surprised if the Raiders maybe select an offensive tackle or an offensive lineman, just because the Raiders need help in that regard. I mean, Raiders, I think they have a bright upside, but I think that Ashton Genty sounds like the logical pick. I just hope that the Raiders just don't go like an odd man when it comes to this whole draft. I would be very shocked if we saw someone other than Ashton Genty or Shedeur Sanders or maybe Will Campbell.
So
Will Campbell wouldn't be too bad.
He wouldn't. But I got to tell you guys, as a diehard Raider, and I will not take a long time with this, I promise. We got picks to make. We're only at number 6. So real quick, look at this. I think Genty needs more competitive team for him to be successful. I couldn't agree more. This is why. I'm breaking the mold. Maybe we have a coach that's actually intelligent this year. I mean, the Geno Smith thing. He did it. He did it because he knows he's been in the system before. He can run it. He wants to win now. Pete Carroll knows he's not going to be around in the NFL probably in the next 5 years. Okay. So when it comes down to it, I don't know. Let's hope. Look, I remember this awesome defense in Seattle with the Legion of Boom and guys like Nate Clemens on the defensive line. Monstrous team. So what am I saying here? I still have him on the board. Mason Graham. The Raiders go with Mason Graham. Why not? Crosby, Wilkins, basically, I'm just saying, why not? You have a defensive line that's actually really good now. Hopefully, screw it. You got Geno that can maybe throw the ball a little bit. We'll see. But if they went with him, that'd be pretty cool. You passed up on freaking Jalen Carter, okay, you bunch of idiots. So I'm just saying, maybe that would work. I just wanted to be cool and have fun there. I doubt that'll happen. But if I could have one of my scenarios work out like that, you know what? Screw it. Maybe we could actually stop some runs. So great pick. I think would be him or Ginty or anybody really there. But there's my thoughts. So, all right, guys, there it is. The Raiders completed. Thankfully, that wasn't painful. Raiders off the clock. But we're going to another team that's actually pretty painful. And I think we all know who that is. A team that can't seem to get it right. And a team who was completely done with the Aaron Rodgers project. The New York Jets are on the clock. Adam Garnick.
Yes. I love that they flew Rodgers, made Rodgers fly in to spend 5 minutes with the coach. And yeah, we're going in a different direction. See ya. I love the pettiness there. I love that. Anyway, for this pick, this could be one that I have heard a lot of people say, we have no idea what the Jets are going to do. But then I've seen all the major players all center on the same guy, which scares me, frankly. It makes me think that they're all just basically looking at each other's shoulders and, oh, that's not the guy I picked. Never mind. I'm going to change it. So I'm going to go off script a little bit here. Tyler Warren to the Jets. You have Justin Fields, which I don't mind that one bit. They have Justin Fields. They've spent on their offensive line the last couple of years. You need to get some weaponry there. A quarterback's best friend is a tight end that can a good pass catching tight end. Yes. And he can still help on the offensive line. So there is offensive line help there, but I like Tyler Warren to the Jets, going a little off script.
That's pretty good. I'll take that. Mike Pat, who you got?
So I actually have Tyler Warren as well. Look, if you look at this Jets tight end room, they do not have the guy. They have a couple of guys, but they don't have the guy. And Tyler Warren, you always get wary of these tight ends in the top 10. The success rate there really isn't great. You look back at, obviously recently Kyle Pitts, you go a little bit further back, a guy like Vernon Davis, who was good, but was he top 10 worthy? Yeah, I don't know about that. But you do have some success stories. TJ Hawkinson was a top 10 pick. He became a very good tight end in the league. But what sets Warren apart is that he has legitimate ability to line up in multiple different spots across the offensive formation. And that's how Penn State used him this past year. Shoot, he even threw a few passes. Heck, if Justin Fields isn't getting it done, let's put Tyler Warren in there at quarterback and see how he does it. He's also even run the ball. He's massive at 6'6", 255. He's going to be a nice red zone target for Justin Fields. And as Adam said, it's a tale as old as time. A young quarterback's best friend is a big target, reliable tight end.
You are so freaking right. Those are some good. I like that. Good picks there. Teran, who you got?
Well, I've either got Tyler Warren or Will Campbell. Don't be surprised if the Jets do need offensive line help, but at the same time, I think Tyler Warren does make sense looking back at it. He's either going to be in the top 10 or he's going to be in the early top 15. But I think the Jets need offensive line help. They need Tyler Warren as a tight end threat. So I can't go wrong with either of them. I mean, my initial pick was Will Campbell, but you can't go wrong with Tyler Warren. So I'll say Will Campbell, but don't be surprised if it's Tyler Warren.
Good stuff there. I like this. Mason Graham. Hey, why not? Screw it, right? If it were to happen. All right, gentlemen. Well, I'll make this one snappy. What a Jet thing to do. So who's the quarterback right now?
Justin Fields. JF1, baby.
JF1, right? Well, they think they got their guy. So screw it. This is where I see Mr. Ash and GT going, hey, they think they got their dude at quarterback. They think they have an offensive line, even though they don't. The defense, though, for some ungodly reason, can actually play in games. I don't know how, but they can. I don't know. I mean, hey, watch this be their new Curtis Martin, guys. I'm just saying, watch this happen. I don't know, but I'm going to go with GT going here. If the Raiders pass on him, I think he won't go very far. I'm going to go with the Jets there. So, I mean, yeah, go with him taking the Jets. Crazy, right? I don't know. Fun, maybe a little fun there, a little different stuff there. But all righty, so we have made it to this next team. And oh boy, this is another winner here. Oh, these guys, they started things off a couple years back with a guy who I was a big fan of. Until this day, I'm still a big fan of him. The Carolina Panthers are on the clock. Will they pull the trigger on Bryce? I know his contract's coming. Or will they stick with him and go some? This is a fun topic here that could take a whole show. But Adam Karnick, what do you got?
Well, first of all, as a Bears fan, I'd like to thank you to the Panthers for the gift that just keeps giving. That trade for Bryce Young that will finally finish paying off in this draft. Finally. But it does look like Young made strides last year, so you don't need to push the panic button and go crazy with a quarterback. I have them actually going on the defensive side of the ball. Jalen Walker, edge rusher out of Georgia. over the last 3 or 4 years, you can't go wrong with taking somebody from that Georgia defense, especially their front seven. That Panther defense needs help getting to the passer. Walker is somebody that can help them do that.
Agreed. Could not agree more. That is a great pick there. Meister Mike Pat, what are you thinking?
Well, we've talked about the evolution of Bryce Young, who through the first year into quarter, year into third, Panthers fans were all ready to give up on him. But then, he started to put it together, and I think there's enough there to have confidence in him. Now, kind of like the Patriots we discussed with Drake May, you need to help him a little bit more. And I think there's one guy here who could do that a little bit. It's a little bit higher than most people have them. In fact, it's a lot higher than most people have him. I'm going to go with Teteroa McMillan here. Give Bryce Young this big, tall receiver. Right now at receiver, yes, they have Xavier Leggett. They also have 36-year-old Adam Thielen, and then undrafted free agent Jalen Coker as the third receiver. So there's definitely room to add a guy like McMillan. He can come in. Look, Bryce is short, okay? He needs those tall guys to be able to see them down the field so that he can lob it up there. And McMillan does those 50-50 balls really well. I think it's probably a little bit of a reach, I would say, but in terms of helping your young quarterback, this is the best guy right here, right now to do it.
That is a good one. Another day. This one's a hard one to mess up too. Teran, who you got? Or not. All right. Well, hey, there you go. But good picks all around there. Overall, oh, there he is. Teran has arrived again. Having a very hard morning. I can relate. But good old Panthers, man. This team, look, I want them to stick with Bryce. I do. But if he doesn't, oh my gosh, we're going to have a lot of fun talking about where he might go if they do. If he becomes a free agent in his last year, I don't know. But all righty. Teran, we good?
Yeah. All right.
Alrighty.
So I actually am going to go down Adam Karnick's route too, Jalen Walker. Now, the thing about the Panthers is their offense is so nice. If you saw their Week 18 game against the Falcons, that offense can score. But what about the defense? They need to shore up the defense. They need to, kind of stop the opposing team from scoring because they are in a division that has two prominent teams at the very least, being the Bucs and the Falcons that could score at will. But I will also say I think Teteroa McMillan would be a good pick. My thing is I just don't want – I feel it would be weird seeing a Servite guy and a modern-day guy on the same team. I'll take Jalen Walker for the 8th pick.
That would be pretty cool to see that, though, man. Trinity League, telling you. So, all righty. Good picks there. I like it. This next team, oh my. I mean, we're just talking. This is like a mental health show. We're talking problems here, guys. This is like therapy because these teams have more issues than Sports Illustrated ever had. I'll tell you that. These guys are these top 9 teams for sure. I think at 10 we start getting a little more level-headed. But that top 9 has problems. So off to our number 9 team who still has a crap load of issues. Well, we're going to head on down to the Bayou and talk about them New Orleans Saints at number 9. Adam Karnick, who you got?
Yeah, this is a team that just insists on making a mockery of the concept of a salary cap, that it just doesn't matter. We're 80 million, we're 100 million, we're $300 billion over the cap. It doesn't matter. Somehow we'll slide under and life will be fine and we can field the team. A team can't win anything, but they at least field the team. What's the easiest way to get out of salary cap hell? To have a rookie quarterback on a rookie deal. Derek Carr is hurt. Spencer Rattler is Spencer Rattler. I think this is where Shedeur stops. I think this is where Shedeur Sanders winds up going. I know his dad talked about, he's going to be wearing black and gold, meaning Pittsburgh. He's going to be wearing black and gold just down in the Bayou. I think if you're one of those teams wanting to make a move up for Sanders, you've got to get in front of New Orleans. He makes all the sense in the world to me for New Orleans, gives them an identity, gives them a future that they have not had since Drew Brees retired.
Agreed. Agreed. Yeah, and oh my gosh. Wait a minute, guys. Did I pick my Panthers pick?
No, sir, you did
No.
not.
I did not. I'm sorry. I thought I just was going along with the flow. I'm sorry. I was looking around. I was like, wait a minute. I'm checking them off as I go, and I didn't check that one. Sorry. Okay, so really quick for the Panthers. I know it's going to sound stupid, but I don't think they believe in him. I'm going to go Jackson Dart. I don't think they believe in. I think the belief is dead with Young. I don't know why, but I just feel like that's why I was kind of building up a little bit ago with like, ooh, but look, it's the Panthers. It's the Panthers. Somewhere along the lines, I don't know, but crazy pick. I know. I told you I was gonna have fun with this one. I'm just gonna throw some crap out there and have some fun. Anyway, yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I'm having fun. Oh yeah. It's cutthroat, guys. The NFL is as cutthroat as it could possibly be. So there you go. Oh, I know, right? So they're gonna be like, either you get going, or we put this guy in. I'm just saying, and they could have a nice little trade bargain for him in the season. Who knows? I don't know, but I feel like that fire is gonna get lit. So anyway, I love him, but yeah. Anyway, in this pick.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shedeur
Yeah.
Sanders. For sure. For sure. Why not, right? He's the guy there. He's the guy. Why not? Look, I know they have who they have, but again, we're the lighting fires or getting rid of dudes. And I think every team is look, the experiment's got to end at some point in time, unless you're the Jets. And even that ended. So I'm just saying. So I don't know. Teran, what do you think? No. There he is.
What's up?
All right, what do we got for the Saints?
I got Shedeur Sanders or Jackson Dart in the number 9 pick. Long story short, for the Saints, they need a quarterback. Derek Carr is hurt. He might miss the entire season. It makes so much sense to go for Shedeur Sanders. If they're skeptical of Shedeur Sanders, go with Jackson Dart. He looks so draft ready. I think he is ready for the NFL. Would that be a long shot to pick Jackson Dart? Yes, but I think he is NFL ready for the time being. And in case the Saints don't want to follow the script and they don't want Shedeur Sanders to wear gold and black, gold, and white, they should take Jackson Dart. But I got Shedeur Sanders at number 9.
There you go. I flipped a coin actually. It was either Dart or Sanders for the Saints and I guess ended up being Dart. So that's the reason why this happened. But I don't know. I guess I thought they're gonna be like, you need to either one go, or I don't know, crap or get off the pot. I don't know. So all right, we're moving along, guys. Again, we're trying to go as rapid fire as we can. Like I said, being respectful.
What about Mike with the Saints?
Oh crap! Sorry, Mike. Oh man, we
How
just got.
dare you, sir?
Yeah, I'm sorry,
9
Mike.
years I've been doing this show with you. No,
I'm sorry. We're trying. I'm sorry, man. My apologies. I was trying to get everything going, and we got.
This
By
has
the way,
been
we
one
got
of
a new
those
show
days.
premiering right now on iSports Radio. Right now, Shingard Shenanigans. She is on. Jess is killing it right now. Mr. Ralph Calise is on right now. iSports Radio is a fun place to be. Mike, give it to us.
All right, so I have Shedeur Sanders for all of the reasons that everybody has described above, but I did want to talk about, the realistic possibility. If Sanders is gone, I also agree with Teran here that this pick could be Jackson Dart, and I think a lot of people might think that's surprising, but nobody thought Michael Penix was going to go 8 last year. Not a single person had that.
Does it concern either of you guys that Jackson Dart just got uninvited to the draft yesterday, that he's not going to be there in person?
Perhaps.
Okay.
Perhaps. I mean, look, I still have Shedeur Sanders going here, so I mean, it is what it is. But I mean, I have Sanders because he's still on the board. But if he's off, I mean, like we said, New Orleans needs a quarterback. Derek Carr. I mean, look, he's 35 going on 36, I believe. If you're having injuries that are knocking you out for the season, how are you going to come back from that at that age? That's really tough to do. So yeah, I have Sanders here, but don't be surprised if it's Jackson Dart if Sanders is off the board.
So true. So freaking true. Yeah, this is fun. I'm telling you. I'm sorry, guys. I got all these different screens going on, cheering on our fellows over here. So Mike Pat is just very, very appalled right now. I totally understand. Reach.
Desperate teams do desperate things.
Exactly.
Every year, I say it's one of my 5 things to watch for in the draft is the reach in the top 10. Every year there's one.
Exactly.
Every year.
Exactly. That's why I'm picking so crazy, because my usual picks where I'm like, you know what? I think this is no, that never ends up. So I'm gonna go crazy one year and watch me be like pretty accurate. I'm just saying, screw it, right? I mean, my usual drafts are terrible. Like
Did Larry B go 32 for 32 this year?
that'd be hilarious, and I'd be like, wow, that was the one day where I was like, wow, these are dumb. These are really stupid. And then they're all right. If only my students probably hope the same thing on their tests. But anyway, I know I've tried that on a few tests before. It didn't work. So anyway, we're moving on to familiar territory for one of us here. Because at number 10, yes, the Bears. All right, it's only right. I mean, he's been starting us off this whole time. But it's only right that this man does it. Chicago Bears on the clock. Who you got?
There's a million ways the Bears could go here. To me, this needs to be a pick in the trenches, either offensive line or defensive line. There's been a lot of chatter about the Bears and Ashton Genty. If he's here at 10, which I don't have him, and I genuinely don't believe he will be there at 10, I could understand it. But to me, this needs to be a pick in the trenches. They've spent a ton this offseason on upgrading the offensive line and a little bit on the defensive line. For me, this is the final piece. You get the left tackle that you need to prioritize offensive line and defensive line in the first round. They're just too important. So I have Kelvin Banks of Texas going here. I think that is a massive upgrade at left tackle. You've got your bookends on the both sides. You've taken care of the inside for now. I like Kelvin Banks.
I do too. Mr. Glenn Rudis is Genty.
Please, no, don't trade up for a running back. No, I don't care how good he is. Don't do that.
Don't.
I will lose what is left of my hair.
I'm trying to. Yeah!
There's a little bit there.
Bears, if you want to save this man's hair, if you want to save this, don't do it. That's mean. Dumb Bears. Don't be mean. So with that said, Mike, Pat, who do you got?
So I have the Bears trading up for Ashton. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow.
God, and I have Josh Simmons going back to the Commanders. There.
No, I thought long and hard about this pick. Because I take Adam. Adam, I think you're exactly right. I think it's got to be in the trenches. My only wariness about them taking an offensive tackle is that would result in 4 new starters on the offensive line going into next year. And sometimes too much change, at least in the beginning of the season, can kind of throw things off to start. So that was why I was a little wary of a left tackle here, although I like Kelvin Banks. He's one of my favorite prospects in this class. But I do have a guy who you just talked glowingly about, Adam, going here. So I think you'll like it. I have Jalen Walker out of Georgia going to the Bears here. And here's why. Here's why I picked him over the other edge guys, because he actually kind of solves a couple of needs. Because while the Bears do need an edge rusher, they also don't have a proven third linebacker for their base sets to go with TJ Edwards and Tremaine Edmonds. It's one of the Edmonds. I can never remember which one it is. Tremaine Edmonds. So this is a guy in Jalen Walker. He reminds me a lot of a guy currently in DC, Frankie Louvu, who plays kind of that strong side linebacker spot in the base sets and then can get after the quarterback. And by the way, Louvu had 8 sacks. So that's my, glowing recommendation of Walker, a guy who in those base sets, and look, really, Walker's just the guy you have to get on the field. Get on the field in some way and just unleash him. Say, hey, dude, just fly to the ball. Wherever the ball is, that's where you're going. He's an incredible athlete. He's not the biggest dude. He's only like 6'1", 6'2", 245, but he's a tenacious defender. He's relentless in his pursuit. And like I said, he's going to fly all over the field, and has a very strong ability to get after the pass rusher. I don't want to compare him to another former Bear who both Adam and Larry are familiar with, but the skill set is similarities. The level of the skill set you could debate, but the skill set has some similarities there.
Very true. I like it. All righty. Well, there you have it. Mike Bat with some monster analysis. Who you got there, Teran?
Hopefully y'all can hear me because there's an airplane flying behind me. I actually got Armand Membu.
Hopefully do that.
I actually put Will Campbell twice. So you know what? Give me Armand Membu at number 10, just because I think the Bears offensive line kind of needs some help. I think keeping Caleb Williams protected would be amazing. He's shifty. I'll give him that much. But if they could protect him at all costs, I think offensive lineman would be a good decision, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. I think what Adam said is definitely true. I think Banks would be a pretty decent pick, but I think Armand Membu goes into the top 10. I know it's a reach, but I think the Bears need to address their offensive line. I was going to pick Malachi Starks, but safety at number 10 seems like way too big of a reach. So give me Armand Membu.
Good picks there. Very good. You know what? I'll take it. Good stuff. I just got to kind of go with the band here in a sense. Calvin Banks, if he's there, don't be stupid, Bears. Please don't be dumb. Oh my gosh, don't be dumb. If you trade up and get Ginty, I swear I will have the most fun on this show I've ever had in my entire life. I swear I will. Oh no, I got that. You are now past Raider dumb. Like, and that's a hard stupid to. Raiders stupid is like a very hard. It's an extremely unachievable stupid unless you're the Raiders. The Bears will reach that. Don't do it. Just take who you know is going to work. We're good. Okay, so with that, guys, we are off. And Adam's like, we're off. We're done with those guys. Yeah, don't want to talk about them. But off to our next team. Pick number 11. Of course, that is none other than those 49ers on the clock. All right, guys. I'm going to be snappy from here on out. That was fun, the top 10. But all right, how you got, Adam?
I was talking with Andre of Dre Area Sports, and I said, give me your number one need for the Niners. And without hesitation, he said defensive line and gave a huge list. And I was okay. So I will adjust. I'll take out Armand Membu and I'll put it in a defensive lineman. And he went, Armand Membu? Oh, well, I'd see them taking him. So I'm going to stick with Armand Membu. As much as the Niners do need help on their defensive line, this is a deeper class for that. And right here, there could be some slight reaches going for a defensive lineman right here at 11. So I think Armand Membu is a little bit better value for the pick. Somebody that the Niners probably wouldn't have expected to be sitting there at 11. They can then address their defensive line issues down the road.
Good stuff. I'll take that pick. All right, Michael, you got?
Niners are a team that historically they don't necessarily go for their biggest needs right off the bat. Sometimes they either address a position that's like okay, but you could be better, or they address a position that needs help for the future. Now, this team also just lost cornerback Javarius Ward to free agency. So corner, I think they need a little bit more help there in that defensive secondary. And I have a guy who I think is still flying a little under the radar because he was injured, but I have cornerback Will Johnson. I think Glenn Ritter actually just had him as well in the comments. I think it feels somewhat of a need, but I think it's a really good value pick. And like I said, the Niners, they don't necessarily go for their top needs right off the bat. Don't get me wrong. They'll take care of their defensive line and their offensive line throughout the draft. They'll get that taken care of. But I think first, they're going to go with more of a BPA approach. And to me, given the way the board has shaken out, I would have that as Will Johnson, who also, like I said, addresses somewhat of a need for the team.
Agreed. No, completely agree with that. I like that. Good analysis there. Who you got there, Teran?
Okay, I was gonna pick Will Johnson. I saw Will Johnson in terms of the of a projected draft, and then obviously the Niners need offensive line help. But you know who I went with? I went with Walter Nolan, defensive tackle out of Ole Miss, because the Niners are gonna need to start paying some of these big boys, and some of their defensive linemen are getting old. So I think, and Dre actually had Walter Nolan picked in terms of his mock draft, or at least one of them. So I'll give the pick to Walter Nolan, but don't be surprised if the Niners go offensive line or they go Will Campbell.
Well, I'm going to add to your craziness there because I was a little crazy as well with these guys. I'm going to go with Mikael Williams, edge rusher out of Georgia. Hey, again, they got to start this defensive line. It's rough. And you guys just lost Greenlaw. A lot's going on in that defense right now. There's some changes. I'm just saying it's a possibility. If they pick offensive lineman, obviously that's going to be a great pick there. They need that. But when it comes down to it, they can also go defensive line. I mean, hey, this team, the trenches right now is a pretty big need for these guys, and they got to be able to keep up in that West. So fun stuff there so far. In that West, got some more teams talking about in just a little bit. Looking at you, Teran. Some more teams in the West coming out and ready to roll. But moving forward, guys, we are going to jump on in to a team from Texas. And boy, this team needs a lot of things too. Talk about them Dallas Cowboys, man. At number 12, Adam, who are you taking?
For the Cowboys, I know a lot of people are talking wide receiver. I actually think running back. There was huge talk that it's gonna be Ashton Jeanty. This is his floor. This is as far as Ashton Jeanty would fall. The Cowboys would pounce all over him. So I like that idea of running back for the Cowboys. I actually have Omarion Hampton out of North Carolina. This is probably Hampton's ceiling, but I have seen people mock him to the Bears. I don't like that, but it's not outrageous for me that the Cowboys could go Hampton. And I just like running back just a little bit more than wide receiver for the Cowboys. Not that wide receiver is not a need, but you give them the updated version of Ezekiel Elliott, and that offense might finally be able to operate again.
Agreed. Mike, who you got?
I actually really like the Hampton pick. I've seen it more and more, and it kind of reminds me of when Jahmyr Gibbs came out a couple years ago, and he went way higher than people thought to Detroit. And I think that was actually also the 12th pick, interestingly enough. But fellas, let me tell you if you've heard. Tell me if you've heard this story before. Dallas Cowboys draft a college offensive tackle, kick him inside to guard, and he dominates the league for a decade. That story sound familiar to anybody? That would be Zach Martin, right? Well, what if they did it again? And what if they did it with a guy who has risen very well in this pre-draft process and is just a destructive run blocker? I've got Armand Membu going here. I think, the Cowboys, they did try to replace the void of Zach Martin a little bit with a couple of free agents. But first of all, you need 6 offensive linemen in today's NFL. 5 doesn't cut it. You need 6. You probably need 7, but you need 6 starting caliber guys. Right now, to me, I would say the Cowboys have 5. They need 1 more. And, I mean, how fantastic would it be if Zach Martin retires and they just go out and then they draft Membu, slot him in at right guard, and then boom, he becomes the guy for the next decade.
Wouldn't that be crazy? I would love it. That'd be cool.
They are good at building offensive linemen there in Dallas. We pick on the Cowboys a lot. They are good at making offensive linemen.
Oh, they are. They definitely are. So we'll see. Who you got there, Teran?
So I actually have Will Johnson falling to the Dallas Cowboys. Again, just kind of like the Niners, the Cowboys are going to need to start to pay these players like they did with Micah Parsons. But I think Will Johnson would be big for the Cowboys just because Dallas kind of needs some help in the secondary and whatnot, just because they're in a division with teams such as the Eagles, which have good wide receivers. You got the Commanders that have amazing wide receivers and an amazing QB. And you've also got the Giants, who hopefully don't whiff on picking Travis Hunter, because I have him at number 3. But I think Will Johnson would be perfect for the Cowboys. Maybe I'm missing something, but I don't know. That's who I got.
No, good stuff there. Look, I'm going crazy again. I'm going Luther Burden. Luther Burden, man. Why not? Out of Mizzou. Why not? Look, again, craziness, right? Craziness equals stuff. You know what they're gonna do, guys? Jerry's not even there anymore. I don't even know. He's probably watching this like, you know what? F you, young man. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm just saying, like, he's just does it seem like, remember Al Davis picks that don't make sense? Remember that? Why not? Hey, I got Dak. I just paid him $1 million trillion now. I'm gonna get him a receiver. Can he throw the ball? I don't care. I'm getting him. Okay, cool. Yeah. So I don't know. It seems like a Dallas Cowboy thing to do. Just saying. Sorry. One of those deals. So there you have it for those Dallas Cowboys. Moving forward. Hey, look, guys, we're going down to the 305. Oh, yes. And no, this is not a Pitbull song. We're talking about those Miami Dolphins. Adam Karnick, what do you got?
I honestly wouldn't mind being in the 305 today. It was 80 degrees yesterday. It's 40 today. What the bleepity bleep and bleep. So I wouldn't mind the 305 right now. Anyway, for the Dolphins, they've had a bunch of needs happen within the last month, but I'm going to stick with what was kind of an original need for them. And when the season ended, we knew that the Dolphins were going to need help in the secondary. Will Johnson is a beast of a defensive back out of Michigan. He's somebody that, regardless of the system, you can use him. He will work on the outside. He can live on cornerback island and get the job done. So I have Will Johnson out of Michigan going to Miami.
I like that. That's pretty solid. How about you, Mike? You agree, or are you going somewhere else?
Going a little bit somewhere else. Adam mentioned it perfectly. Look, the Dolphins have had so many needs that either their players have created by retiring or they've created by announcing trade possibilities for them over the past couple months. It's really been an incredibly chaotic offseason for this team. And that is the chaos of Miami, as Marcus Losgrave so aptly puts there.
Mental note: never let Marcus go to Miami. Got it. Okay, we gotta keep him out of Miami.
But I have Kelvin Banks going here. I think Teran Armstead retiring leaves them with a void at left tackle, and I think Tua. Look, here's the truth about Tua. I think when everything is perfect for him, he is excellent.
Yeah,
but he's one of those quarterbacks where everything has to be right. There cannot be a hole in the offensive line or he crumbles. His receivers have to be open or he crumbles. But hey, when all of that's going well, hey, he's a fantastic quarterback. But I think, in the interest of keeping Tua upright and protected, which you definitely need to do, given his injury history, I think Kelvin Banks makes a lot of sense. He's the best pass blocker, I think, in this draft class, and that's just a colossal need right now for them.
So true. Could not agree more, guys. Good. How about you, Teran?
I actually messed up on their pick. I thought they were picking 14th. It shows how tired I am and how it's just been one of those days for all of us. But I actually have Jahdae Barron going to the Dolphins. Just because the Dolphins need all the help in the secondary. Jalen Ramsey is not getting younger. If Will Johnson does fall to the Dolphins, they got to pull that trigger and get him. Because like I mentioned, Jalen Ramsey is not getting any younger. I feel he's kind of declining ever since he got traded to the Dolphins from the Rams. I just think he's lacking that sauce, as the kids would like to say. But I got Jahdae Barron.
Good. You know what? I'll take that. Hey, if again, the Panthers. I'm still on Panther mode, guys. Sorry. The Dolphins are in a state where, honestly, that's kind of hard for them to mess it up too. Right now, believe it or not, I have them going offensive line. I have them picking a damn guard. Yeah. Because, well, why not? Josh Connolly is a monster. Why not? I mean, no, not a guard. Whoops, I'm going to the next. Whoopsie, sorry. Yeah, there we go. Sorry, there it is. Sorry. Josh Connolly picking a tackle there out of Oregon. Why not? Hey, look, you can only make the offensive line better. We've seen horrible things happen to Tua. I think we just need to keep that man healthy. Overall, they got some players. They got a team that can compete. Why not just work on the meat and potatoes? I don't know. Boring pick for me. Again, like I said, I'm going crazy this time, guys. I'm going against everything. It's kind of like, do you think it's B? Yeah, okay, I'm going to go with C. Just because. That's kind of what I'm doing today. So
it makes it fun when you do that. It makes it fun.
I think offensive line actually makes sense. So I think that's a very smart decision. I didn't really think of that because the Dolphins have the offense. It's just that their defense kind of leaves a little to be desired. And their offensive line with Teran Armstead retiring, that needs to be shored up too. So that's a good pick by Larry.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. We'll see what happens. But moving forward again, man, I was trying to, I know that time is creeping. So, Indianapolis Colts, Adam, who you got?
The Colts need a tight end in the worst way possible. I don't think we're going to see a lot of trades on Thursday. And by the by, we've actually got every team has a first round pick this year. Crazy. So if we're going to see a trade, I can actually see the Colts trying to move up for Tyler Warren. He's off the board. They literally had no tight ends catch passes in game for long stretches last year. They were the worst in the league at it. So Colston Loveland out of Michigan, a great big body. They need to know if Anthony Richardson is anything. And if he's not, Daniel Jones, well, at least you've got a big body to throw to. So again, a quarterback's best friend is a big pass catching tight end. Colston Loveland of Michigan will fit the bill regardless of who winds up actually quarterbacking the Colts.
Hey, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. Who you got, Mike?
So I agree with Adam. I also have Colston Loveland. Look, it's going to be one of Anthony Richardson or Daniel Jones, as funny a statement as that is. But both of these guys, they need a solid, reliable, big target. And interestingly enough, Loveland actually measured taller than he was projected at the combine. He was listed at 6'4", 6'5" at Michigan, actually came in at a little over 6'6". So he's even a bigger target than people thought. But another thing I like about Loveland is that he's a pretty decent blocker. One of the better blockers at tight end in this class, and especially with only with Jonathan Taylor at running back, but with Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson that like to take off running. It's good to know that you might have your tight end down there that could lay out a safety for you to help clear the way. So I've got Loveland to the Colts as well.
That is an amazing. I like it. Let's go. Teran, who are you saying?
All right. Well, that's it's going to be logical if the Jacksonville Jaguars don't mess up and they pick Tyler Warren. But if for some reason Tyler Warren is still on the board, I got the Colts picking Tyler Warren, barring the Jaguars or any other team passes up on him. Now, another person that I could see the Colts drafting is Malachi Starks. Yeah, it sounds a little crazy, but I think the Colts go tight end. I mean, they can't really have Mo Alley Cox as their tight end one. So it's either Tyler Warren falls to the Colts draft Colston Loveland, or Colts go the weird Cardinal direction and they go Malachi Starks. But that's who I have.
Loveland. I mean, I guess I can't say it enough. That's it. That's my guy. If they go anywhere else and he's still there, I can't believe it. I got to go with Loveland for these guys. It just makes sense. We talked about it yesterday on the defining moment, Mr. Big Mike, because we have like 8 mics here. I'm just kidding. Was on our show, and it just makes sense. We got it. That would be huge for these guys. They haven't had a dominant guy since Dallas Clark. I mean, Doyle was good, but I'm just saying they need a dude. So yeah, I will go with that. So next up, guys, we're going back down south to rise up with those Atlanta Falcons. Adam Karnick, who are you taking?
So it's got to be defensive. It's either front 4 or back 4. One or the other. I actually had a defensive back picked, then doing some reading, and one of the insiders that I follow was, I was going to say edge rusher, but then Shamar Stewart and Mike Green were both off the board, or Walker and Green were both off the board. And I went, wait a minute, I still have Mike Green available on my board. I think this is probably realistically as high as Mike Green goes. 17 sacks a year ago from Marshall, exploded onto the scene. There's enough question marks that I think some of the other teams, like say, for example, the Niners will, we're going to go a little safer, but we're getting to the point in the draft where we got some teams, the Falcons, the Bengals, that don't mind taking that riskier pick. So I've got Mike Green going to the Falcons.
You know what? That's pretty good. Good old Mike Green. I'll take that. That's pretty good. Mike, who do you think?
So I actually, not to sound like a broken record, I also have Mike Green going to the Falcons. Look,
one of us is copying.
Yeah, hey, I'm just saying, I record all of the mock drafts. Just saying. No, look, there are 3 edge rushers still on the board, and I think you could make an argument for only 3 of them. All of them have questions. It's Mike Green out of Marshall, it's Michael Williams, and then it's James Pierce Jr. out of Tennessee. I think you could make an argument for any of those 3 to go here. And I kind of really flipped a coin and went with Green. The way he performs in this pre-draft process. I think it was at the Senior Bowl where he was leveling offensive tackles in the pass rushing drills. 300 something pound offensive tackles at 250 pounds. He is explosive. He has incredible lower body power for somebody that size.
Oh yeah.
There's some off the field stuff that we've seen that obviously teams are going to take into consideration, but I think the talent at some point is going to outweigh that, and I think Atlanta feels like the right spot here.
No, that's a great pick for those guys. Teran, who do you think?
I got Jihad Campbell going to the Falcons. I think he makes perfect sense for the Falcons just because their defense needs to shore up as well. It's because the Falcons play in a prolific division in terms of like offensive scoring. And I think that the Falcons defense leaves a little bit to be desired. I just think it just makes all the more sense when it comes to that. Him or Mike Green will get drafted, but I have Jihad Campbell being drafted by the Falcons.
That's a good pick, man. Jihad Campbell's a good pick. Well, what if I were to tell you that they're just going to be crazy again? They had Penix last year. That worked out. Everyone thought they were crazy. I'm just saying. So let's just go crazy again and say, hey, what if we just want to get somebody in the interior? I went against what I thought, and I was like, you know what, screw it. Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State. Hey, big boy in the middle. But I know. They don't have it. I mean, it's not their offensive line isn't that good. Screw it. Again, we're trying to pick dudes here that could possibly help out. Let's see. They got their quarterback. I don't know. This one's a weird one. I know, like I said, but that was the point of this draft. And I was hoping to get some weird faces in this one because, screw it. I looked at all of my drafts before and I'm all like, I suck. I'm going to have fun today. I don't care. If I suck, at least I could like have fun with it. Okay. So there we go. That's an interesting one to say the very least. Let's keep it rocking and rolling. Moving on down the stretch. We're more than halfway. Let's get it. Arizona Cardinals at 16. Adam, who are you taking down there in the heat?
Yeah, from one red bird to another red bird. I will have the Cardinals taking Jadi Barone out of Texas. They addressed wide receiver, obviously, in the first round last year. Their defense also needs help, needs work on the outside, and especially when you've got some of the quarterbacks that you're dealing with, Matthew Stafford with the Rams and for the 49ers, he just left me, and it'll come back to me in a minute. It's all right. It's all right. There's enough good quarterbacks in the West that you've got to be able to defend against that. So I've got Jadi Barone out of Texas going to the Cardinals.
That's actually pretty good. That's another good. Mike, are we going to go with Jadi Barone as well? Just kidding.
No, I'm actually not going Jadi Barone, surprisingly, although I did heavily consider him here. No, I'm going to go with Michael Williams here. I'm going to go back-to-back edge rusher here. Look, the Cardinals, they did make a great move in bringing in Josh Sweat, but they need to continue to add and continue to bolster this defensive line. They've dedicated a lot of capital here, but one thing that I think sets Williams apart a little bit more from some of these other edge rushers we've discussed is that he's actually really stout against the run. You saw that a lot in Georgia. He was able to utilize his length and his power to stand up offensive tackles. They couldn't drive on him very well. He was able to use his leverage to make plays. And I think, the ability to contribute in both facets is going to be tantalizing to the Cardinals. And the Cardinals, I know it's really quick after a year, but last year's first round pick, Darius Robinson, did absolutely nothing for the team. And I think they need to at least have a somewhat contingency plan to have more help there in case that continues to be the case.
That is very good analysis there. And damn it. Yes, damn. See, again, guys, our Mel Kiper with better hair. With better hair. So, Teran Rodriguez, who you taking?
I got Kelvin Banks Jr. being drafted by the Cardinals. Now, I think Kyler Murray might be the answer for the Cardinals at QB after all, but it's all about keeping him healthy. It's all about keeping him protected. I think the Cardinals go offensive line to keep their quarterback healthy and protected for the long term. Because some have been saying that Kyler Murray isn't the answer, but I think they're now warming up to him. And the Cardinals were not bad last year. They actually were pretty decent, and they could have made a playoff push, but they just had a few losses too many. So give me Kelvin Banks Jr. for the Cardinals.
That's
And we're already
solid.
halfway through the draft.
I know we're just keeping it pushing, man. No, I like it. That works for me. Okay, so again, just being a weirdo, I don't care. These guys are awkward as well. This is why not, right? Why not just get a little insane here and go with a guy that I think is pretty damn good? They got a running back at quarterback, so why not get another running back? I'm gonna go with Trevor Etienne here. I mean, why not, right? I mean, again, do we know what we're doing, Cardinals? No, they have no idea what they're doing. So let's just make a pick that doesn't make sense. Watch it work out for them. I don't know why, but this is another one of those weird. I'm telling you guys, watch me get really good on this one. Just kidding. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it just feels like a running back is obviously a major reach here, but why not just go with him? I mean, I don't know. The offense needs a lot of help overall. Everything needs a lot of help. I don't even. How are they this high? How are they not over one overall? I'm just saying. Yeah, they should be down there in Raiderland.
They won some games last year against the Niners and whatnot.
Which blows my mind.
And I'm still mad they beat the Chargers.
I know.
They caught the Bears on the perfect week. They were the first opponent after the Fail Mary.
They were. I'm looking at this guy over here. Cincinnati Bengals on the clock at 17.
You could have lined up a high school team that week, and the Bears would have lost.
It could have been the Leathernecks.
It could have been the Leathernecks. Yes, it could have been.
Western Illinois. That would have been their first victory in 17 years. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. That was just hilarious. But all right, Cincinnati Bengals on the clock. Who you got there, Adam?
For the Bengals, okay, so just talked about how these are one of the teams that don't mind taking a risk. If they do offense at all in this draft, then everyone in that front office needs to be fired instantaneously. They have got to go defense with this draft, with this pick especially. Shamar Stewart. He's got all of the measurables, all of the pressures, all of the this, that, and the other thing. But he had 4.5 sacks in 3 years in Texas A&M. That scares me. I don't think it will scare the Bengals. I think they will go with it. They were floating the idea of trading Trey Hendrickson. Now they can have somebody to be the heir apparent when they do eventually move on. I've got Shamar Stewart here.
That's a good pick. I like that. That's a good one. All right, who you got there, Mike?
All right, for the record, Adam and I only line up on 4 more picks the rest of the way. I just double checked
it.
So it's definitely tempting for them to go edge rusher here, but I don't know what it is about the Bengals. They can never get their secondary right. Is it just me, or did they just never have like a good pass defense? It just doesn't feel like they can ever get it right. So I think they're going to take a shot here and try to at least make it right with somebody. I have Jadi Baron going here from Texas. I think he's a guy. Now, I thought that he could play everywhere in the secondary until the combine when his arms measured in at 29, under 30 inches. That's going to make it very hard to be a boundary corner in the NFL if you don't have that length, and he's not particularly tall. He's only 5'11 and a half to win those 50-50 passes against bigger receivers. So I don't think he's got the supreme elite versatility that he offered at Texas, but I do still think he contributed in the slot. I do still think he contribute at safety, playing deep. And I think, he's got the tenacity to be in the box and sub packages too. So I think he's a guy who still offers you some great versatility, and he can match up, and he's got incredible quickness and athleticism as well. So I think he's a very good matchup in the slot as well. But can, match up against quicker receivers, which in that division, he does have Zay Flowers over there in Baltimore, and he does have Jerry Jeudy over there in Cleveland. So that there are some teams here that are good, that have offer good matchups for a guy like Baron.
That is a great. I'd love it, man. Oh, I wish I could have done that one. I'm stupid. It's not my pick, but this would have been a great place to put him. Teran, who you got?
You know what? I got Michael Williams. I think the Bengals need to shore up their defense, and their offense is so high flying, it's mind blowing. But their defense is basically like an open gate, or it's basically like Oprah. You get a score, you get a score, you get a score, you get a score, you get a score. So I think the Bengals address the defense and they go with Michael Williams.
Michael Williams is a great one. I got to go defense. I'm going Derek Harmon out of Michigan State because, again, we're long removed from the Carlos Dunlap days, and I know he was an end. But regardless, what I'm saying is that defense hasn't been very good. Screw it, defensive line. Again, let's see. This one actually, I actually kind of went with this one because I was like, okay, this actually does, in a sense, make some sense because that AFL guys, AFC North. Oh my gosh, I'm all over the place. By the way, guys, our soccer show is awesome. Anyway, sorry. But yes, we as defensive linemen. He's kidding. Look, you gotta take these when you can. I like this guy a lot. I think he can be pretty solid. Overall, he's gonna be I think he'll be a pretty solid talent in the NFL. And let's see what happens. So let's see.
I am kind of hopeful that they take a receiver.
Would they? But
that would be the greatest draft moment of the last 10 years for me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Wouldn't that
somewhere Jamar Chase is just going,
what? Exactly. That's what I was thinking right now too. Oh my gosh. I love it. No, let's see. But overall, guys, oh man. Screw it. I got them going big man in the middle. Let's see what happens. So, all right. Continuing it on here. Let's go ahead and push off. Man, like I said, we're trying to make time, but man, this is difficult. So, all right, off to way up in the Pacific Northwest. Oh, yes. Seattle Seahawks at 18. All right, give it to us, Adam.
Yeah, this is a team that's a little. I have a special spot for them. My sister lives out there, so I've got a special spot for Seattle. They just got Sam Darnold to be their quarterback. You need to support him. You need to give him some weaponry. I've got Matthew Golden out of Texas going here. Really nice route runner, really good catch radius, hauls in the 50-50 balls. I like Matthew Golden. Not quite going to necessarily be Justin Jefferson, but give you a good receiving option there for the Seahawks.
Very, very good pick. Okay, Mike, what you got?
So I'm going back to defense a little. I've got a little run on edge rushers here. I've got James Pierce going here. Look, when Seattle has been at its best, it's been when their defense has been on point, and I think they just need more help at pass rush. They have some good options there, some guys who can get after the passer, some guys who can stuff the run, but I think they just need a little bit of more help in that front seven to get after the Kyler Murrays and the Brock Purdys of the world.
I'll take it. Okay. Good stuff. All right, who you got there, Teran?
So I think it's wide receiver because for the Seahawks, and you got to remember that they just traded DK Metcalf. So I think Matthew Golden is who I have if Tateroa McMillan isn't available. If he is available, give me Tateroa McMillan to the Seahawks. But for my final answer, I'll take Matthew Golden. I think this is a golden opportunity for the Seahawks to draft a wide receiver. So give me Matthew Golden for the Seahawks.
We just all went receiver. Emeka Egbuka for me. Let's see. I mean, why not, right? I mean, hey, if he lands here, he lands here. They're really trying to get that core going back there. Yeah, definitely a need there for them Seattle Seahawks. So Man, okay, moving up. Where are we at now? Oh my gosh, we're at 19, guys. Let's keep it pushing. We're going down south, back down south now to a team that, well, they're just kind of odd. I don't know what to call these guys. They're weird. Tampa Bay, they're good, then they're bad, then they're good, then they're bad, but they're never like horribly bad, but they're never like extremely good, except for the time they got a ring. I don't know. Tampa Bay Buccaneers on the clock. Adam, who you got?
For me, linebacker is the most glaring, obvious. Oh boy, we got to do something to shore this up for the Buccaneers. So I have them taking Jihad Campbell.
Jihad, beast. Mike, who you got?
Okay, this is a copycat pick. I also have Jihad Campbell here, and so does it looks like Glenn Ritter in the chat also with Jihad Campbell as well. Look, Adam said it perfectly. This is a glaring need. This is a modern day NFL 3-down linebacker. He's fast, he's big, he's powerful. He's going to make plays for this defense.
Oh, 100%. Who you got there, Teran?
I actually have Derek Harmon going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think the whole pick for the Bucs should be defense. Again, they have the offense to hang with anybody. I mean, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, he just re-signed. And then Baker Mayfield has really proven himself worthy to be the starting QB1 for the Bucs. So I think the Bucs go defense, and I think Derek Harmon is my pick.
Yeah, that's pretty solid. Good old Derek Harmon. Look, this is again, can't really go wrong with these guys. Oh, look at this one. Yeah, Campbell, Tampa Bay. Look at that. Everyone's just going with her. He had Tet. Look at that going to Seattle, by the way. I love Glenn Ritter just up in here doing it with us, man. This is great. Thank you, good sir. Yeah, so this is I don't know. Drum roll. Look, am I dumb for saying that maybe they could use a little bit more help up with the big boys? I'm gonna go Tyler Booker out of Alabama. Big dude, monster in the middle. Again, some protection is nice. I was gonna actually go with either I had, oh my gosh, these guys I had Campbell going here. I had what do you call it? Who else goes here? I had a couple other players here, but regardless, you know what? Let's see. Again, big boy in the middle. But it's so easy to say offensive linemen are horrible picks, but
no,
is it really? You know what I mean? Because it's not we always call the sexy pick, but I'm just saying it's so easy to say that these big boys aren't worth the money, but you got to understand that they make the whole game happen. So I don't know. I guess again, I went against what I thought, and I'm just going to pick against it. Screw it. I'm having fun today again. So, as I've said a million times already. So, with that said, let's go ahead and roll on now into a team that Teran and I love to not like. Buds, they're definitely up and coming. And boy, these guys are freaking coming in a hurry. Coach Payton, he's making things happen. Who's he taking at 20? Adam Garnick.
I think the Broncos would love to take a running back. If Hampton were to be here, in my version, he is not. So they go wide receiver. Tet McMillan is a beast. He is 6'5". Just Bo Nix. Throw the ball in the air. He will either catch it or he will just eat the defender and make sure the defender doesn't catch it. You get down in the red zone just to have a big body like that. So I have Tet McMillan going here to the Broncos.
Ooh, hey, that's a good pick for those guys. All right, Mike, who you got?
So I have the Broncos do need running back help. And I happen to have a guy still on the board who may not be there come this pick next Thursday, but he's still there for me. And it's Omarion Hampton out of UNC. He is the complete package. He's got the size. He's got the speed. When you look at Denver's offense, Bo Nix, I think, surprised a lot of us with how good he was last year. Now you go out and you help him with a strong running game. You already have a good offensive line built for it. So let's go out and get the running game to support our young quarterback.
I like it. Teran, who you got?
I have Omarion Hampton too. Now you got to remember, a few years ago, the Broncos selected Javonte Williams, another running back from North Carolina. So I think it's par for the course when it comes to the Broncos to select Omarion Hampton. I think running back might be their best decision yet in terms of the draft, if not maybe a wide receiver, but they just re-signed or they signed Evan Ingram. So I would highly doubt they'd go tight end. So give me Omarion Hampton, just because not Sean McVay. Sean Payton. Sean Payton loves his running backs, and he loves to run the ball down your throat. So give me Omarion Hampton. It just makes so much sense. Sorry,
And we're gonna add to that Omarion Hampton for me as well. This was a pick where I was like, okay, I gotta be fair. I don't want to sound like that jerk that's like, let's pick somebody stupid for the Broncos. No. I'm almost positive if he falls to this, they will take him. Yes, good pickup for these guys. So, all righty, we are continuing again to rock and roll. I think we've had some pretty fun here. By the way, I love the name for those codes there, Mr. Adam Karnick. And Adam got our codes ready today for us, and I love the names for these teams.
I had a little bit of fun behind the scenes. It's fine,
just a little. So had him some fun there. So, all right, so 21 overall, the Pittsburgh Steelers. Ooh, fun. Adam Karnick.
I know that the Steelers told Adam Schefter that they do not have interest and that they will not take Jackson Dart at this spot. I would like to remind everyone that it is lying season, and that has to be. There's no way they can go into the season with Mason Rudolph and the ghost of Aaron Rodgers as the only options at quarterback. I know they're scarred by Kenny Pickett. This has got to be a quarterback. Is Jackson Dart worthy of being a first-round pick? Probably not.
I had him.
But this is what they've got to do. They can't do anything other than quarterback, in my opinion. So I have it being Jackson Dart.
You know what? That's pretty good. Again, I would probably have to go in this late too if I didn't take him earlier with my coin flip. Some fun stuff there. But Mike, who you got?
So I agree with Adam. Look, Mike Tomlin has an incredibly rare opportunity. Most head coaches never get the opportunity to yell redo on their first round quarterback pick. They swung and missed with Kenny Pickett. Obviously, he had his guy Ben Roethlisberger for 15 years. Transitioning to that next guy is always hard, and not many coaches, like I said, get a chance to yell redo when they mess up. I mean, who you could go down? Bill Belichick didn't get a chance to yell redo when he missed when Mac Jones didn't work out. I'm sure you could go down the whole list of guys who didn't get that chance, but he gets it, and I think he needs to take it because Pittsburgh, you talk to the fans, you look at the fans, you look at Ralph Kalise, our Pittsburgh guy, they're starting to get impatient with making the playoffs and getting knocked out in the first round every year. You got to do something to change it up, to change the pace, and I think Jackson Dart is the guy to at least, look, shoot your shot. If it doesn't work, okay, you leave mutually, you ride off into the sunset, but you can't just keep sticking in this. It's like the Bulls being in the play-in every year. Sorry, Adam.
No.
You can't keep sticking with this limbo in the middle here. You gotta do something to change it up.
You gotta pick a lane. You've got to pick a lane.
Thank you. No, it is the truth. You gotta pick a lane. Yes, good stuff there. Teran, who you got?
So I also have Jackson Dart, but I will say if the Steelers don't want to go Jackson Dart, I have them taking Shamar Stewart just because maybe shore up their defense. And you never know with the Steelers. I mean, the standard is the standard. I mean, Jackson Dart is the logical decision. The illogical decision, or the cardinal option, in other words, you would go south from this decision, is Shamar Stewart. But I think Jackson Dart makes the most sense. But don't be surprised if they take Shamar Stewart or anything out of the whack. If they go wide receiver, that'd be the thing that no one has on their bingo card.
It's the Steelers right now, and they're doing some Steelers stuff. I don't know, but cool. I accidentally deleted my draft. Cool. I can remember the rest. Yeah, that was fun. So okay, well, Mike, guess I'll have to just listen to the show and get my picks again. I can remember some of the rest though. So there you go. I was switching between things right now, and yeah, that was fun. Okay, so With the Steelers, look, I did not pick Barron yet, and I thought he might just land there. Good old Jod Barron. Look, again, defense, right? This is what they do. It's their thing. Offense is not, we're good. It's defense. So if anybody is a Bear fan, it's the Steelers. Okay, Adam. I'm just saying the AFC North is just like that. Again, you got. Remember Artie Burns. They got Porter. I'm just saying it's just kind of their thing. Screw it. Our offense will work itself out. Defense. I'm just saying. So again, I went ahead and I actually had Jackson Dart in one of my drafts too. Drop this far, but I was like, screw it. Again, doing my topsy-turvy thing. So this right here, to me, sounds like something the Steelers would do. Just saying, I don't know, but we'll see. So, alrighty, there you have it. Moving forward here, we're going to a team that's all too familiar for another one of our our hosts here today, and of course that is those Los Angeles Chargers at 22. Teran, start us off this time, man. Who you got?
Well, this is my pipe dream pick, and I hope this actually happens. I got the Chargers selecting Colston Loveland. I feel that would be the best pick. If for some reason he's not on the board, then maybe they go wide receiver. But the last time they drafted a wide receiver, it kind of backfired on them. But I would like Colston Loveland. He gets to be reunited with Jim Harbaugh. He joins a very talented quarterback in Justin Herbert. The Chargers offense, even though it's young, it really surpassed everyone's expectations. So give me Colston Loveland at number 22. I think it happens. And don't even be surprised if the Chargers get aggressive and they trade up. So I got Colston Loveland.
If he falls that far, that would be a major pick for those guys, especially last year without the productivity of the receivers so much. So, all right, Adam, who you got?
I know that there's a huge interest with the Chargers for getting a tight end. In mine, I just don't have a tight end there that I feel right giving them. So I did go wide receiver. So Teran, I like hearing you say that if it's not tight end, probably wide receiver, because I have them taking Luther Burden III out of Missouri. Can line him outside, you can line him inside. Give Herbert a nice option there to go with.
Good stuff. I like it. Very, very nice one. All right, Mike Pat, finish us off.
I'm going to keep this short and sweet. Defensive tackle Walter Nolan out of Ole Miss still on my board. Shore up the middle of that defense with a tough presence that's also going to be really good at rushing the passer. I think he's the second best to Mason Graham, and I don't think there's that big of a gap there either.
No, totally. Very, very, very good pick there for them. Chargers. Go Chargers. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry I had to do that. But yeah, there's actually a guy who I haven't picked yet, who I haven't put out there yet. And he's a big monster. I'm gonna go with Membu going to the Chargers. Look, if he falls this far, hey, why not? Again, I know I'm going these offensive linemen. You know what? I was pretty impressed with a lot of these big boys this year. You know, some of them, some years I'm like, yeah, they're all right. A lot of these guys were pretty solid. Probably one of my favorite classes, I think, in the last couple of years of big boys. So pretty good. So, all righty, moving forward to a team that Adam hates. Hey, he's mad that his name is in that color right now. Hey.
I really liked the Gotham green. You know, can we just go back to that? You know, I guess it's better than the yellow.
Well, the Packers on the clock. Adam Karnick, your arch nemesis. Who are they taking?
Yeah, in general, I hope that all of these kids do really well and have terrific careers. Whenever the Packers draft somebody, I hope that kid busts. In this case, I have Walter Nolan going here out of Mississippi. They need to have that big nose tackle. Give him that big hog in the middle. That's who I have the Packers going with.
You know what? That's a great one, Mike Pat.
So I actually have Shamar Stewart going here out of Texas A&M. I think he's got those physical tools. He's going to need a little bit of time. The Packers are generally a patient organization. They'll give you a year to adjust to the league. I would love to say receiver here, but we know that's not going to happen. History is 100% right and consistent in that regard that it's not going to be a receiver. So it's going to be somewhere on the defense, I would say. And I think Stewart, I think give him time, give him patience. He's got incredible upside for the Packers.
That is good. I like it. All right, next up, Teran.
So the logical choice for the Packers would be to draft a wide receiver. But knowing the Packers, they're not going to do so. But that being said, they did trade up to get Christian Watson in the second round back when he was available. So I have the Packers going two routes, either Emeka Egbuka or Mike Green. I think Mike Green would be the logical choice for the Packers, if not Nick Emonwori. But my final answer is Mike Green. I think the Packers go the defensive route and they surprise some people.
Shamar Stewart. What to me, if he's there, that's just the Packer thing. I got it. Yes. I just totally copied Mike there without even copying him. That was awesome. So yeah, big picks there. Good stuff, guys. All the way around the Packers. I think those are wonderful picks for those guys because again, I mean they're in a weird place. They're a team that can win, but can they really win? You know, they're weird. The Packers are a very awkward team right now, and they're trying to find themselves. Now we're going to a purple team that Adam also hates. This is fun.
Less.
He hates less. This is the lesser of the evils, you know. So yeah, it's kind of like us over there in the AFC West, Aaron. We all hate each other, but we collectively hate the Chiefs the most. All of us just hate the Chiefs together. You know, we turn into that robot the Power Rangers used to. You know, us three.
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, we put our
Power Rangers
together. Raiders, Chargers,
Except
and
you guys
Broncos.
still get whooped. What's up with that?
Yeah.
At least
we
Power
can't
Rangers
combine our
win.
teams, unfortunately.
Yeah, the Silver Ranger sucks. Okay, that's the problem. So he's not very good. Okay, he's his weapon.
The Green Ranger was still dead at the time.
Dang, we really have to bring that to this show.
Oh no!
Spoiler alert!
I love this show. Minnesota Vikings on the clock. Adam, who you got?
For the Vikings, I feel like it's gonna be somebody on the defensive side of the ball that they've got to shore up that defense a little bit. I have it being Nick Emonwori, the safety out of South Carolina. It wouldn't shock me if he went a little earlier, maybe sneaks inside the top 20. So it's great value pick here too at 24.
That's actually really, really good. I didn't think about that guy. All right, Mike, who you got?
So the Vikings have one spot on the offensive line that I would say is not solid, and it is left guard. And there is one guy that I still have on my board that would slot in beautifully there and just make this offensive line one of the best in the NFL, in my opinion. And that's Tyler Booker out of Alabama. This dude is a monster. He's a mauler. And interestingly enough, not a lot of people talk about this. He has, on occasion, played surprisingly well left tackle if needed at Alabama. So not only does he give you a guy that can be a monster of an offensive guard, he gives you an emergency contingency plan at your tackle spots as well, which also matches a couple other guys who I'm about to bring up here in a few picks.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, Teran, who you got?
So I have Nick Emonwori, just like Adam does. So he'll either be gone a little before 24, but I have him falling to 24, and I think that's the best case scenario for Minnesota, just because I think their defense also needs improvement. I mean, it's not bad, but there are some teams in the NFC that definitely have high-powered offenses, like Detroit, the Rams, the Eagles, so on and so forth. So give me Nick Emonwori for the Vikings pick.
Well, I like what he says here, Mr. Glenn. Give me Emonwori as well, because I haven't picked him yet. But I'll tell you, This is, of course, Mr. Glenn Ritter, the host of our Minnesota show, the Bolden North breakdown here on Thursday nights. Yeah, Kenneth Grant to the Vikings, but Walter Nolan, hey, if he falls that far, cool. But yeah, Imanwari, beast. Let's see. I just gotta, I really do believe that that's the case. If he's there, then they got him. So good old Minnesota, man. Minnesota. Adam's like, no.
No,
Minnesota. No, sorry, stop it. No,
I'll refer to you. I'll refer you to how I referred to them in the backstage section.
The Vikings. that was pretty awesome, you know. Yeah, no Minnesota. No, Adam does not want a Minnesota. I'm just kidding. No. And by the way, you don't even call him that over there. You call him Pop. So it's Pop in the Midwest. So all right, guys, we're moving forward here. We got the Houston Texans. Oh, they're fun. They're very fun. Adam, do you have a fun pick?
I actually, Mike pretty much said everything that I was about to say about this pick. I have it being Tyler Booker out of Alabama. The Texans need some help on the offensive line. They need help at wide receiver too, but a little bit of help on their offensive line. Booker, he's a tremendously good guard, and he's that emergency safety valve. Hey, we need a left tackle for 3 or 4 weeks. Kick him over there. He will get you by. So I've got it as Tyler Banks out of Alabama.
That awesome pick. Mike, what you got?
So I have Josh Simmons out of Ohio State going here. Little bit banged up this year. I think that's going to cause his stock to drop. I think if he had gotten to play the full season there at Ohio State, I think we'd be talking about him a lot higher. He is a very good left tackle prospect, but he's going to need time to make sure that injury is right, which is good because the Texans have Cam Robinson, who will hold the mantle. He seems to be the go-to. You need a left tackle to hold a spot. Go sign Cam Robinson. That seems to be his role in the NFL nowadays. This feels like his 4th team or something like that. But Josh Simmons, give yourself a long-term left tackle to protect CJ Stroud, who I believe he might have already protected in college already, I think, or did he? I don't remember if he transferred or not. He might have transferred to Ohio State. There might have been some overlap, but in any case, Ohio State left tackle protecting an Ohio State quarterback in general will work well nonetheless.
It is very nice. Agreed. I like that. Good job. All right, Teran, who you got?
I got the Texans selecting Travion Henderson. I think the CJ Stroud needs offensive line help, and they could take a chance on Simmons, but I think Henderson might be the safer option. Go with an offensive line, protect your quarterback. They've got good running backs as well, so might as well go big on the front.
Well, wouldn't you know it, Josh Simmons was also where I was at. This is a good pick. I didn't think about that if he blocked for him before. But again, what are you going to go wrong with here? Good pick. The Texans need something. They just once get to the AFC Championship so you could break that. Just and then be like all the other teams who haven't been in the bowl before. You know, you've gone to the championship at least, but it just sucks to know you haven't gone past the divisional round. You know, so I don't know. But good stuff there for the Texans. Moving in, just continuing on here with it's orange. Yeah, it's orange. How did that happen? All right, well, we are going to mess around with the color real quick, but yes, we are not good. All right, well,
that's supposed to be their dark gold color, but apparently somebody misread the memo.
It's all good. Well, we've already had our orange pick, but it's okay. We're moving it. Here we go. A little bit of Rams action at 26 coming your way. Teran, who are you starting with, man?
I'm going to go with Josh Simmons. I think Rams need offensive line help. I feel that the Rams are going to panic. They know that Matthew Stafford isn't getting any younger. And I think with Matthew Stafford returning, I think they go offensive line because their offensive line gets either beaten up or they depart. So give me Josh Simmons to the Rams.
Very solid. Again, another monster there. So, Adam, what do you got?
To close the loop on Simmons, he was a transfer from San Diego State, by the way. So I do not believe he blocked for CJ Stroud. Teran, tell me what you think of this for the Rams. I struggled with this one for the Rams a little bit. I settled on Trey Amos, the corner out of Mississippi. Give some outside help, just kind of bolster that defense a little bit. Matthew Stafford, he has enough left in the tank, I think, for a run here. So bolster that defense and try to shore up that spot on the field.
Very good there. Yes, and yes again. Michael, you got?
So I went a little bit of a different route here with the Rams. Look, I know they went out and they got Devontae Adams, but Devontae Adams is 33 years old, or will be 33 by the start of the season. Puka Nacua was injured on and off last year. He was mostly healthy, but he did have some injury bugs. So I think they need a little bit more help at wide receiver, at least a little bit more security. And by the way, fun fact, I've only taken one wide receiver off of the board at this point, so I still have the world of receivers available to me. So I have Matthew Golden going here, slipping down to this part of the draft. I think that's a great value at this spot in the draft for them. And I think he solidifies that spot long term and gives them a running mate with Puka Nacua for the foreseeable future.
Yes. Well, that would be awesome. Now, this is not going to happen because my silly draft over here is just not going to pan out, but I don't care. Guys, let's have some fun with the silliness again. If you guys haven't noticed, there's a dude I have not picked yet that I'm surprised none of you have commented on.
Several dudes you haven't picked yet that I've been wanting to comment on, but go ahead, Larry. I'm curious to see which one this is.
Tyler Warren! Look, that
was one of them.
But I'm just saying, hey!
If he falls to the Rams,
he's not.
Then that might be unfair for other teams, or Matthew Golden for that matter. If either of those fall to the Rams, I think the league is in trouble when it comes to the Rams.
For real. I mean, think about it. But yeah, okay, we have the silly season. This is the silly draft, guys. This is it. This is the silly one. We're going to laugh and be ha, ha, ha. Yeah, look, if this happens, this would be crazy. He's not going to fall in the top 10. Let's be real. But yeah, I mean, the dude's going to be a monster. I saw it on several drafts, actually, like mock drafts. I seen this dude going in the teens, and I was like, no. So I just wanted to be extra crazy and put him here, but screw it, right? So yeah, if he falls this far, oh my gosh. But let's just be real. He's probably going to go somewhere. Maybe like the Colts if Levin's gone already. I've seen him go to the Panthers for some crazy reason. I don't know. I mean, I've seen him go all over the place, but yeah. So screw it. There you go. Yay, fun times. Okay. So moving forward from the Rams, we got a team that is purple. And this purple team is not the team that Adam hates. It's the team that Ralph hates. Hey, we're going to pick number 27 in the Baltimore Ravens. Here we go. Who you got for us, Mike?
I'm not used to waiting this long on draft night to talk about one of my teams. I'm going to have to take a nap in the teens, I think, in order to make it to this stage. This is rare for me. We haven't come up to either one yet. No, so I have a guy who I've really liked since the season. I have safety Malachi Starks, and I'm glad I get to say it before Adam, because that means I can say Adam copied me here. But no, he's a very versatile piece. You can play him all over the defense. And it's interesting because that gives the Ravens actually three safeties with Starks, Kyle Hamilton, and Ardarius Washington that they can all kind of move around and play with. Defensive coordinator Zach Orr likes to experiment with his formations, with where he lines people up. Shoot, it wouldn't surprise me if he came up with a formation where those three are the three linebackers for the formation, where it's Washington, Starks, and Hamilton at linebacker. I mean, the Ravens just do weird things like that. But I like Starks. I think people are way overblowing his combine. The numbers weren't great, but neither were they for Kyle Hamilton. And we saw how that worked out at the end of the day. Yeah. So I've got Starks here at 27.
That's a good one. I like it. All righty. Adam Karnick.
Yeah, Malachi Starks. Absolutely. I think the tape and the production, he should be valued so much higher. It almost feels like there's a thing around the league where you just look at Malachi Starks and that's what a Ravens safety is supposed to look like. You know what, guys? We just have to correct a cosmic wrong here. Let him fall to the Ravens. If they pass on him, okay, then we'll take him. But Yeah, it's got to be Malachi Starks. He just is a Ravens safety.
No, he is, and that was I mean, spoiler alert. Obviously, yeah, I had him there. The guy's a freaking beast. How are you not? I mean, Starks is gonna fall there. Let's be real. If he does fall there, they're gonna eat him up like a bowl of Cheerios. I mean, that is to it. So, Teran, who you got?
Yeah, Malachi Starks. If he falls there, I'd say the Ravens should take him. But I also have the Ravens taking Nick Scourton. I mean, but
Oh.
it seems like Malachi Starks looks like the logical option just because he comes from defensive back university, aka Georgia. But I think my pick would be Nick Scourton. So give me Nick Scourton if Malachi Starks is not on the board. But Starks sounds like the logical choice.
No, without a doubt. This is a huge pick for them if they were to fall there. So a few more picks to go, guys. We're almost home free. My goodness. 2 hours in, but as good old Adam Karnick would call them, the Motor City Kitties. Yeah, they in their Honolulu blue at 28. They were so close yet so far, and boy, it feels like it was even further because, well, it just didn't happen for them. All righty, Adam Karnick.
And their fans learned such a hard lesson that you're allowed to talk to coaches during the playoffs. There's a system in play. You've never seen such gnashing of teeth. What do you mean they were able to interview Ben Johnson? How dare they? That's how this works, guys. You've just never had coordinators worthy of poaching before. That's how this works. So for the Lions, it really did. They were so beset by injuries during the season. That defense got destroyed by injuries. So to try to help offset that, I have Mykel Williams out of Georgia going here. There's some questions about how productive of a pass rusher he could be. You put anybody on the other side of Aiden Hutchinson, they're going to be productive. As long as they have any kind of talent, they will be productive. I think this is a great landing spot for Mykel Williams, defensive end out of Georgia.
It is. That is a awesome pick. That would make a lot of sense. All right, Mike, you were bowing right now. What do you got?
So I agree. I mean, Adam was right. This team was destroyed by injuries on the front seven. I think the good part about that, if there was a silver lining, is that it let a lot of other guys play and get playing time. So I think they might have depth, but what I think they really lack is a pass rusher to go opposite of Aiden Hutchinson. And for that, I have a guy whose name that I've really wanted to say to this point, and I actually looked it up, and I think I've got it. Donovan Izuruaku.
Yes.
Out of Boston College. Not the biggest guy in the world, but explosive. And also at the combine had the best shuttle and cone drill of any of the defensive linemen at the combine. This guy operates phenomenally in short area quickness, short area moves. He may only ever be a pass rusher. That might be his only role in the league, but he's got the potential to be a darn good one. And when you got a team like Detroit, you can afford to take that luxury, when you just, had the season you did and you've got the roster you did.
My goodness, yes. Teran.
I have Tyler Booker going to the Lions. Now, the Lions definitely have a great defense, but as Adam and Mike just mentioned, they got decimated within big guy like Tyler Booker, best available. That's not a QB. Did you all hear that?
Yes.
Lions can go best available, not named a QB.
So yeah, for sure. Now, this is where I'm at. I have not picked Walter Nolan, and Mike has probably wondering why. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe it happens, maybe it doesn't, but this is kind of cool. Josh, Mr. Ritter and I why not, right? This would be so cool for him to add to this offense.
You put any pass rusher on that defensive line, they're gonna have success because Aiden Hutchinson just demands attention. Yeah, so
that's right.
It works.
That's right. This dude is, you put somebody on this freaking defense, man. Dude's awesome. So why not? Let's see what happens, But all right. So continuing on, few more picks to go, guys. This is pretty cool because Mike gets to talk about another one of his teams that are very, very deep in this. I know. Dream season for this guy. I mean, I'm a little jealous. Hey, Washington Commanders. They command excellence. Just kidding. I'm sorry, I just had to do that. But Mike Pat, who you got?
So, fun fact, the Washington Commanders have never picked with the 29th pick of the first round in my lifetime. Because even when they won the Super Bowl when I was a year old, there were only 28 teams in the NFL at that point. So they would not have had the 29th pick in the first round. So this is a first for me to say with the 29th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select one of my favorite players. I think everybody's talked about him already. He's still on my board. Nick Eamon-Warry out of South Carolina, 6'3", 225, way faster than a man that size should be. Fantastic skill. I think he's sliding down a little bit because people are worried about positional fit. Is he a safety? Is he an outside linebacker in the league? Does he have the man coverage skills to stick at that spot in the next level? But last year, the Commanders used a guy by the name of Jeremy Chin as basically their third linebacker in their base sets. They had Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, and Jeremy Chin. Basically, that was your three linebackers, and Chin was a safety, but playing linebacker, and Eamon-Warry is the younger, slightly faster version of Jeremy Chin. And now you're going to have Frankie Louvu, Bobby Wagner, and Nick Eamon-Warry, and you're going to have those two guys. I mean, Wagner's getting a little older, so I'm not going to say he's going to be flying around the field, but those other two guys are going to be flying around the field, making other players not happy to be playing the Commanders that day.
Not very happy at
not
all.
Very happy.
Yes, very, very angry. So, I love it. Adam Cardick, who you got, man?
I have it, the classic. You found yourself a quarterback, so you've got to help that quarterback. You got to do what you can, especially while you're in that rookie contract window. I have Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State going here. Originally, I had put him to the Chargers because there was the professional comp was McConkley, who they just took, and then it was, well, wait a minute, do you really want to have two of the same thing? So, but I think here to give Scary Terry a little bit of help, Emeka Egbuka out of Ohio State, give Jaden Daniels another weapon to play with.
I like that a lot. That sounds fun. All right. Well, Mike's not arguing with you. So, Teran, who you got?
I have the Commanders taking Donovan Izeruwaka with their pick. Now, Washington does have a great offense, but their defense, I think, could be a little bit better. But I think with this pick, Donovan can definitely help out in terms of Washington's defense, especially since they have a lot of good key pieces.
No, good stuff there. Look, again, the craziness continues for me because there's a guy that's going to go top 10 that I have going here, and I don't give a crap. I just want to make Mike smile once. Haven't picked him once. Jalen Walker.
That was the one, Larry. I was looking at it. I was like, does he know that he hasn't picked him yet? Did he just forget about Walker? Maybe, possibly.
I know. I'm saying, again, silly draft for me. This has been fun. Look, you know what? Hey, again, for you guys tuning in, everybody, I've picked so many serious drafts where I've looked at it and went, wow, I'm an idiot. Or I have no idea what I'm talking about. So, hey, if I do this one time, kind of cool.
I'll do backflips if Jalen Walker falls to 29 and we take him. I can't do a backflip physically. I think you can tell I'm not that guy, but yeah, I'll make it happen. I'll make it work.
There's a couple years ago, I'll never forget. There's this guy.
Get a bungee.
There's a guy. There's this guy on our network who said that if Justin Fields would fall to his team, he would do a backflip. And
Honestly, I'm not quite sure.
That.
He might have actually done a backflip that day. I don't know.
I was in traction for the week afterwards. I was in traction for a long times afterward.
So I'm just saying. So there you go. Yeah, not gonna happen, but I don't care. It's fun. It's fun to do. I don't give a crap. If he falls that far, oh my gosh. Or if the Commanders jump up to get him, oh my goodness. I do not think that'll happen, but that'd be fun. So anyway, alrighty. Moving forward, guys. Almost there. We are just 3 picks away. Kaboom. There it is. Buffalo Bills. Adam Karnick, who you got?
Yeah, Buffalo's another one where it's kind of an interesting where do you go? You got a lot of that would stand an upgrade, but not a lot of it's got to be this. So I went with Donovan Jackson, the guard out of Ohio State. Shore up the offensive line, protect Josh Allen as much as you can, allow him time to find his receivers or take off and run if that's what he wants to do. Or if they decide that they want to try and emulate the tush push thing, some extra beef along that offensive line to help make life easier there. So Donovan Jackson out of Ohio State was my pick for Buffalo.
Yes. I like it. Mike Pat, who you got?
So I have the Bills taking Derek Harmon, defensive tackle out of Oregon. Look, they're at this point with this roster, you can really just take the best guy on the board. To me, it's Harmon. He's a talented interior player. They'll find a way to use him. And yeah, the Bills roster is just so well built. Just take the best guy available. You'll figure out how to fit him in.
Screw it. They're going to win games. So there you go. Kaboom. Teran, who you got?
Well, this one might be a pipe dream, but I got Emeka Egbuka going to Buffalo. Now, Buffalo, their offense is great, but I feel they're just missing that key piece. So I think Emeka Egbuka falls to the Bills, and the Bills don't mess this one up, and they trade to allow the Chiefs to get a big, talented receiver, which helps the Chiefs become more inevitable than they should be.
And I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, Malachi Starks. Oh, because why not? Uh-oh. Okay, so really quick here. Let's just go rapid. Kansas City Chiefs. I know the time's running on us here. So really quick, KC Chiefs, Mike Pat, who you got? And then we'll end with the Eagles really quick.
You muted him.
He's a muter.
You're muted, Mike.
He's a muter.
I've got Gray Zabel, offensive lineman, going here to the Chiefs. They have a pretty big need at left guard after the Joe Thuney trade. I think they take Zabel. I think he fills in at left guard. And I think if they continue to have offensive tackle problems as they've had the last couple of years, he gives them an option, a guy who maybe we could possibly move out as well and fill that spot as well.
I like it. Okay, Adam and Teran, extremely fast.
Same guy. Gray Zabel. They got destroyed on the offensive line. They've got to boost that up.
Yeah, I had him there as well, so that kind of works out. Teran, who you got?
I have Ariante Ursary going to the Chiefs. Offensive line help is a big priority for the Chiefs, so have him go to the Chiefs and shore up the O-line to protect Patty Mahomes.
Who are the chefs? I'm just kidding. All right, and then last but not least, and then this will be it for our buddy Mr. Mike Pat. But go ahead, good sir. Lead us off. Eagles. Who you got?
So this is a guy who you had going earlier. I've got Donovan Jackson going here. They have made some attempts to fulfill the guard spot vacated by Mekhi Beckham. However, this is the Eagles. Mm-hmm. They're going to take the best player possible in the trenches, most likely, and they're going to slot him in, and he's probably going to be an all-pro, knowing everybody's luck. But Donovan Jackson, another guy, kind of similar to Booker, kind of similar to Zabel, normally a guard, but helped at tackle for a large portion of this past year with Josh Simmons being hurt. And I think they could maybe develop him as the heir apparent to Lane Johnson at right tackle. He could possibly be the guy to fill in there eventually down the road.
I like it. Well, Mike Pat, I know duty calls, good sir, so you got to head out, man. But, dude, thank you so much for being here today, man. We appreciate you. We'll, of course, give all your stuff to give a follow later. But, dude, thank you so much for being here today, man. And we look forward to having you on our post-draft. That won't be delayed.
Okay.
Thanks, guys.
Sounds good. Thank you very much, Adam, Teran. It was a pleasure. And Adam, I just have one parting comment. I do hope the Commanders take Egbuka so that he can catch another Hail Mary.
Just not against the Bears. Anybody else? Beat the Cowboys that way. We'll all be happy.
I'll take it. Hey, we almost did. We almost did in our loss. Almost. Oh, I hate kickers. All right. Thank you, guys. Y'all have a great one.
Peace out, Mike. All right. Adam Karnik, who you got, buddy?
For the Eagles, that defensive line was so amazing to watch in the Super Bowl. They lost some of those key pieces. So I have them trying to replenish that a little bit. Derek Harmon, he's a defensive tackle, not necessarily an edge guy, but the heck with it. He's an amazing defensive lineman. Stick him next to Jalen Carter, and good luck blocking that.
That's for damn sure. Teran, who you got for these guys, man?
Give me Kenneth Grant. I think the Eagles continue to replenish their defensive line, and they know that defense wins championships, and that was kind of the case. So give me Kenneth Grant. I mean, they can go at this point, they could probably go best available when it comes to the draft.
Oh, yeah. Well, I got a guy by the name of Mike Green out of Marshall who I think is going to be pretty dang good in the NFL. And I got him going there. He's green. His last name is going with the team. So I'm just saying, so there you have it, man. Wow, guys, we did it. We just took 2.5 hours. But again, it's been a day. But I'll tell you, we've had ourselves some fun, and there you have it. So let's do it, man. Let's get on out of here. It's been a jolly good show. But of course, all good things must come to a close. Thank you guys also very much for being here today. You guys are amazing. Josh, I don't know how I said that. I was saying Josh Allen right now from the Bills. That's why. I was in my head. I was just like, I don't know why Josh Allen, but our boy Glenn Ritter, thank you, good sir, for being a part of it today, man. Jumping in the chat. Also, Marcus looks great up in there today, man. Lots of great people up in there. We saw Ralph Felice, and lots of awesome people. Jen B, everybody. Thank you guys so much for being a part of this today. Mr. Adam Karnik, that was a lot of fun, man. Karen Rodriguez, any closing statements? Let's start with you, Adam.
This, I would not be shocked at all if we see very few trades in this. I know everybody wants to come down. I don't know that anybody wants to come up. So I think we're going to see lots of chaos, but not a lot of trades.
Yeah, that sounds about right. I'm with it. What do you think, Teran?
I think we're in for a wild draft. I think this year's draft class will be deep. And apologies if I kind of had to cut, if I was cutting off early on. But we made it work. Marcus was right. Everything was going to be all right. We're going to be all right.
Oh, we are.
Thank you for putting up with me, bearing with me.
Thank you guys for putting up with me. Again, I know I mentioned this earlier, not to mention anything, but man, we had a rough kind of start today, but it ended up pretty well. Sorry for stepping on time, guys. But hey, thank you guys for being a part of it. Follow Mr. Adam Karnik right there. Adam Karnik, of course, Adam_Karnik and at IESRC. Of course, follow our boy Teran Rodriguez, man, everywhere at Teran Rodriguez 1 at SoCal Show IESR, and of course that's _.IE. So much good stuff. You gotta love it, man. You can follow, of course, our boy Mike Pat Left One, that's for IESR and IESR blog. You call me about there. Yeah, TXE and LB53 at 3 and Out IESR. For all of my awesome hosts today, Adam, Mike, and Teran, from me, brother Larry B, we are signing off, and we will see y'all next weekend. This time, unissue free. Peace out. We'll see y'all. Take care. And as always, God bless.
Peace.